two things that come to mind when you hear Terrance Gangster Williams.
Okay.
And DawgFace recently had a lot to say about you, right?
Yes.
The first thing, he was like, how you, I'm gonna try to say it as best as he said, you know, because this how it's gonna resonate, right? He was like, you speaking my name in vain. You ratted your way out of mother effing penitentiary. And then you a B-ass nigga. You had a man sitting on your lap with your hands in between his thighs.
I always tell people that, the truth told through the joke, and I always tell people this, I got somebody in every camp. So I'm going to get the first hand low. So when I drop this low on the people, they be thinking I be capping. Because they like, man, you ain't in a huddle, you don't know, bird, them don't mess with you. But that's not saying the people around them don't mess with me. When it's like, you remember how you just asked if Slim called me when I come? So, at one time, Slim was saving Turk when there was something going on. It's to the point I'm hearing Slim don't like him no more. Damn. So he hit. If Slim don't like it, yeah, you cut off.
It's over.
It's over with. We got to always, I don't like Juvenile too right now. So I'm going to put that out there. But I'm going to give him his props. So we got to go with the 400 degree Juvenile. Bust the dope for Cash Money. Like, let's go. We here. And then Wayne just took it from there. The Carter, 2, 3, 4, like.
He carried the label.
Yes. Totally, yes. But Juvie, first 400 degrees, and then Wayne. Then I started realizing just because you're in the industry and you got me, that don't mean you're in a circle with everybody.
True. So what's the most misunderstood part of your story?
That I killed a lot of people.
I'm glad you said that, man. So where they get the 40 bodies? You say 25, but the internet say 40.
So what happened, how 40 come about was, and I never wanted to correct it, and it's just recently I started correct, because when the internet love lies.
I believe they do it for clickbait.
Yes, they do it for clickbait, and they love lies, and then that's how I was getting more interviews back then.
Back at it again, Talks with AJ podcast. I'm your host, AJ, and this is my co-host.
Poised with style and grace, 22.
Live from the city of Miami.
Let the conversation begin. Real talk, no script.
Turn the volume up.
We're about to set the city on fire.
Come tell your story to a boss. Look into the mic, allow us to get lost. If the truth has a voice, we got the reach. Every episode is pressure, and each moment unique. Cause we're poised with style and grace is multiplied. Touching hearts and souls of wounded minds. You won't have to mince your words and hide. Let the masses see how bright you shine. Growth and positivity, we provide the canvas and you come with the imagery. We can make magic if you give us the liberty to put you on display and maximize visibility. Yeah. You are watching Talks with AJO. You are watching Talks with AJO. You are watching Talks with AJO. You Talks with AJ.
Welcome back to another episode. Our guest today has sparked conversations across the country. He has lived a life that most have seen in movies, from surviving the dangerous streets of New Orleans to serving decades behind prison. Now he uses his voice to educate, mentor, and challenge the youth to make a difference in their lives. Welcome, Terrance Gangster Williams.
Wow. Right. I like that introduction. I love it.
Welcome to the pod.
Welcome to
Thank
the pod.
you, bro. Thank you for having me.
Civilian.
Civilian, yeah.
There you go.
I'm in the building.
Let me
Terrance
clear that up.
Yes, right. That's
Let me
right.
clear that up.
So how are we feeling today?
Good. Good. It's nice and hot. Where my towel at? It's nice and hot out here in Miami. There we go. Yeah, it's nice and hot out here. But it feels good to be out here, though.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure to have you, man.
Thank you.
You know what? I've watched a few of your interviews, and I must say, if I had to compare you to an animal, it would be a damn cat. Because you have 9 lives, baby, in my best NOLA accent, baby.
Say, Donnie, let me tell you this, see what I love what you just did, where you say New Orleans. That's how I pronounce. They call me country. They say it's supposed to be pronounced New Orleans. I say it's Orleans because we got Orleans Parish, we got Orleans avenue of the street, right? But they get on me too. They be like, "No, I like how she said New Orleans," so that made me feel good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
And now the next day, I know you're a hot boy, the original hot boy.
Big
so I'm
facts.
coming in
Yeah,
hot.
shit.
I'm coming in hot.
Well, let's
with the
go. Bring
questions.
it.
You
Let's
ready?
go. I'm ready.
All right. So now, with you, there's two things that come to mind when you hear Terrance Gangster Williams.
Okay.
And DawgFace recently had a lot to say about you, right?
Yes.
The first thing, he was like, "How you?" I'm gonna try to say it as best as he said, you know, because this how it's gonna resonate, right? He was like, you speaking my name in vain? You ratted your way out of mother effing penitentiary, and then you a B-ass nigga. You had a man sitting on your lap with your hands in between his thighs. What you have to say about that?
Okay, the first part, speaking in vain. So, I got something for you guys. In this day and time, I learned you got to have receipts, right?
Okay.
So I got something for you guys. And I tell a lot of youngsters this as well. Like, you have to pay attention to these guys on the internet because a lot of them just faking. So I said it to say this here. So DawgFace said I'm speaking his name in vain. Whereas, where is it? DawgFace gave a statement himself. I had a black and white right here in my phone. I'm just looking for my guy text. If you want, I could forward it to any one of y'all so y'all could post it if y'all would like. Because a lot of these guys be fronting. What DawgFace is doing, he's playing for the camera. You know, cutting up for the camera, you know, and I understand that what people do. I got it right here. So what DawgFace did, he gave a statement on the guy, and he think because the guy said, if a guy, here go the paper right here. So if the guy say, I'm riding down Biscayne, and the guy say, I saw Gangsta hanging out the window shooting. But it was him that was hanging out the window shooting. So if I say, man, he lying, that was him that hung out the window shooting. Am I giving a statement? Am I telling? As a gangster, I suppose just go ahead and go to jail, figure it out. DawgFace gave a statement, right? But a lot of people ain't know nothing about that. So, you know, when you go to the internet, you know, the internet love lies. It just love a lot of bull. I welcome the bull because that's how I started my career with controversy. So when he said I speak, but I don't never put a bad bone on nobody unless I know for sure what you did. You know, I took my charge. This what I did. This how I come home. This what it is. So I don't mind when they call me a rat or a snitch. As far as the picture, so that's the original Hot Boy Sterling. We was in the back in the days. We didn't have that homophobia thing going on. We was sure of ourselves. We might have hit a few of them guys' baby mothers that was in there. But if y'all notice this, everybody online who say something to me or who I go at it with online is somebody that's under me. Nobody that was doing my time, my peer was spoke on that picture. Nobody. So, like I said, I didn't. Now, when I first come home and I posted, this girl I was, she was like, she said, take that down. I was like, why? She said, because you're going to go viral. I was like, what you mean? I didn't know that was viral. I didn't know about all that stuff. So I was like, all right. So I took it down. And then this guy named Truth Be Told from Atlanta, he was like, man, I saw you post a picture. Can I post it again? I was like, oh, go ahead. He posted it and went crazy. So for me, it was good because then Flag called me back, Real Life Streets. So I got people calling me, interviewing me about this picture, you know. So people, and let me just say this to the rainbow community. No, I'm not a part of you guys. I know I don't indulge in homosexual activity. Don't bring it around me. Don't play with me with that stuff, period. So for those who's all excited thinking, you know, oh, gang support us, no. Like I said, back in the day, we didn't have that homophobia thing going on. That's my brother that was sitting on my lap. Now, when I did look at the picture, my hand, I did feel like my hand did go a little too far down. But good thing he wasn't one of them guys from Africa, whatever, hung. So I didn't touch his private part. But that's my brother that was sitting on my lap. So no, I'm not gay. Well, if you call me gay, the gay in the dictionary mean happy. So yes, I'm happy. But no, I'm not with the whoop-de-whoop. But as far as DawgFace, he get it. He see his niche. He see where if I go at Gangsta, when you go at me and I respond to you back, you blowing up. Think about everybody who put my name in their title, come at me, they winning. But if you think about it, I've been home 4 years and 6 months, right? So they call me a rat. They call me gay. The average street guy that's online They don't like rats. They don't like people that's gay. So why you got my name in your mouth? Why are you worrying about me? I'm a rat, a snitch. Why my name in your mouth? You a real one. But that's why I be like, man, that's why I tell these children, man, why they faking. A lot of them get on camera, so they playing this role. But they forget when the camera go off, cut. Get back into your regular self. Some of them suckers, some of them soft. When they see me in the streets, they bro, man, what's up, dog? They don't be with all, that's why I don't take the dudes serious. That's why whatever go on the internet, I leave on the internet. I love a challenge. I don't mind, going back and forth if I'm going to make money off it. So if somebody diss me, if I see their numbers going up, then I will respond. I miss the answer right back. The people's champ.
There we go. You better. The people's champ. That's right. Now, going back to the snitching thing, what I respect is that you have taken accountability. You say, okay, well, if you want to call me a snitch, then it is what it is. But to your defense, it would be idiotic, in my opinion, my humble opinion, to sit behind bars for your friends that are already gone. Like the people that you snitched on, snitched are those that are no longer here. So to me, it would be idiotic to sit behind prison forever. So I don't see what's the problem.
So this the problem. And I point this out to a lot of the youngsters. I was laughing because I admit that I did snitch, become a rat, right? And a lot of people I interview with who have respect for me, they be scared to say you snitch. They come out with it. Just say it, But this why I have a problem with it. But this why I agree with the people when they say, nah, man, you snitch. Say us three in this room right here. So we just talking about whatever. And when I go out here and I tell my bro, I'm like, yeah, man, I just broke a deal with them. They're going to give me $1 million to promote their podcast and whether merch, How he know I'm telling the truth? It's just us three in his room. So for with Birdman, BG, all the homies, well, I made the rules. Like, if a police ever pull us over, don't never talk. That's why you will never see what to call that thing? What them youngsters be getting caught up in the room? Interrogation tape.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. When the police pull us over for murder, we going straight to the jail. Y'all have county, we have parish. So we going straight to the lockup and get my lawyer or call home, look, boy, I need a lawyer, whatever the case may be. I get the bond out, whatever. But we didn't go in that room and sit down and talk to them people. So now in my older age, I'm like, I'm watching these guys get out of prison. I'm masterminding stuff, right? So now when I go in here and I discuss the dead body, so it's like, okay, you saying you said that, but we wasn't in the room, so how we know that's all you said? How we don't know you didn't tell other stuff, and now you got this one uninvestigated, this one uninvestigated. So that's why I don't get upset. And I'm free. I'm hanging out here in Miami with you guys. Man,
Can you imagine if you didn't find that loophole? You would have still sitting behind bars, all because of street code. And I get it, I'm not from the street, so I don't know the street life. Again, like you said, you're the one that came up with the, no snitching or whatever. But it's not like no one is serving time behind what you said. They're all gone. And rest in peace to those boys, Mosquito, Sterling, and Dooney. Rest in peace to them, and
Sterling just had a birthday.
Family. Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think too, Birdman them really mashed the gas on me with the no snitching rule, so I couldn't get a cash money check too. So when I come home, I'm thinking I'm gonna come home to the Phantoms, the big house out here in Miami on the yacht. No, I come home, I had to go to the hood. I had to go grind, man. I had to go grind. But I don't be upset. So you never see me make a disrespectful video, talk bad about them. I'm never gonna do that because when I was incarcerated, I didn't want for nothing. Two of my children graduated college, one from Howard, one from Tulane. So I was able to help pay college tuition from prison, thanks to Cash Money. So I never disrespect them, Birdman or Slim, because they was there for me when I really, really, really needed them. Now, as long as they print money, I'm gonna get me some money. Right. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm good. I'm happy. Free.
Well, you're doing better than most.
Right. Yes, that's a fact.
So let me ask you this question, Terrance. Being that you reform, right? You're a reformed man. You converted to Islam. You don't think that was God that pointed you to that loophole to open up this opportunity to have you free from prison?
Of course. I always tell people that because it's like we'll pray, we'll ask God, whatever faith you have, you'll pray to whatever your faith is. And then when something come in your way, present for you to get out, and you like, nah, I ain't gonna do that because that's gonna mess up my name, right? But as you constantly praying, God gonna be like, well, I brought you something, and it's going back to how they say, faith without work
It's
It's dead.
Okay, so my thing is, I think it's that when Birdman didn't stamp it, Boosie, all of them just jumped on the side. Yeah, he wrong, and went to going in, but they didn't know that I would respond back. They didn't know that I would blow up doing that. So sometimes I wonder if he regretted he must speak in my name. You know what I'm saying? He should just let me come out here and figure it out because I didn't know nothing about social media. I still don't know how to work the iPhone to this day. I don't, because when I come on, nobody helped me. Like when I got out, I said I got to go buy me a pair of tennis shoes. So I go to Dillard's. And I had saw the CEOs wearing these tennis shoes. That's why I bought these shoes. I bought some black Skechers. They looked like Nike. So my daughter says, oh, Dad, we got to bring you shop. You can't wear them. I'm like, what's wrong with these? Look nice. But, I didn't have no help. Like I had to figure this stuff out. And I'm still figuring out 4.5 years later, but I'm good with it because when I come up with a challenge, I know one thing, I'm home, I'm staying grounded, and I got to research. I call people now. I can, hey, how you do this? What I got to do? What I got to press? So I know one thing. That time, I'm inside. Keep me out the streets. I'm too old to be running the streets anyway, though, but I like to spend a block a few times, go see what they got going on out there.
Okay. So we know that your life stories are all over the internet. You did multiple interviews, right? So I want to kind of touch on your early years, right?
Okay.
But there's a specific block that I want to talk about. And it seemed like this block always pulled you back, man. Second and Danielle.
Second and Danielle.
Second and Danielle. Second and Danielle seemed to always pull you back, man. What did that block mean to you, man?
So, coming up as a youngster, right, I always wanted to be in the streets. I always wanted to sell drugs. I always just wanted to be in the midst of stuff. So this guy named Ernest, he had brought me and Mosquito around there on Second. And actually, my best friend George, I just spoke with him. We got introduced to Second and I think like 88, 89 somewhere. But in 92, in 90, me and him went to juvenile jail. We robbed somebody on our set. I got caught in 92. He got caught in 92, but he got locked up. Him and my friend Mike got locked up for a homicide he didn't commit. So they've been locked up from 92 to now. I just spoke with him 2 days ago. But Second and Danielle was my first home, bro, like for drugs. Like, and let me tell you what's crazy. I wasn't selling big drugs. Like, we would go to this guy across the street, spend $20. Back then, you had like the $2 puffies. We call them white boys, where you roll them up. We just put them in that little lemon head box and just throw it on the ground. And people come and buy joints. You know what? You could tell time has changed because back then we would roll the joints for the people. People come by. Now nobody won't take it's hard for somebody. You could roll the blunt for somebody and you could pass. They be like, I'm gonna roll my own stuff because people lacing it. People putting all kind of crazy stuff in the weed, right? But Second and Danielle, man, that's why I did all my crime. Like, we would actually meet up on Second and Danielle, like about 10 of us, just to go steal cars. Like, we would meet up around there just to plot our criminal activities. And it's just a regular neighborhood. Like, I rode through that the other day, the store gone, the ballroom gone, so it looks totally different now, but I just be visualizing, like, we had a blue mailbox, and we used to play F the Police. So we all had some fresh Jordans, and I was the smallest one, so the police made all that take off our shoes and made me gather them and throw them in this abandoned house and had all kind of trash, and then we had to try to find our shoes. Man, it was just crazy. On Second and Danielle, I saw guys get killed around there, shot up around there. Like, that was just my first, and I didn't live around there. I didn't have a house or nothing around there. We would actually walk about a good 8 blocks.
What you lived in the Calliope project, right?
Well,
or not at that time.
No. All right. So I grew up in Gertown.
Okay.
The 17 War. Then we moved from there to the Calliope project.
Got it.
So we stayed there about a good 6 months to a year. Then my mother moved across the street on Johnson in this 1 bedroom, bro. She would take the mattress off, put in the corner for me and my other 2 brothers to lay on it. That's why I don't eat string beans and cranberry to this day, because that's all we had to eat. Like, we didn't have a refrigerator. We had the ice cooler, with the ice and stuff in there. So Then we moved to Phillip Street, and then I started hanging in the Magnolia. So when I went to juvenile jail, I had to claim the Magnolia Project. But my best friend Chill Will, his auntie lived on Washington and Ferret. My best friend Hank lived directly across the street from the Magnolia Project on Washington Street. So I had an address because one of my homeboys used to say when we was in juvenile jail, because people always thought by you being from the project in jail, you was hard and tough. So I would claim the Magnolia, and one of my homeboys, he started telling all the little guys, oh, you at the project? What's your address? So if you ain't had no address, you was busted. You know what I'm saying? So if you out the project, you gonna have an address. So happened, my best friend auntie lived, and I remember her address. So I had an address, but I was never challenged like that. But while I'm in the juvenile jail, my mother moved in the Magnolia. So that was big for me. I was like, oh, I really got an address. Now I'm stamped. I'm Magnolia now, you know. So when you hear people in New Orleans be like, oh, you know Gangsta the Magnolia? But I'm really not from the Magnolia. I'm not from the Magnolia. Dooney me and Dooney from out the 17. Well, I'm out of Gertown. He out of Pitchertown. Sterling from around the third ward, like the area not too far from the Magnolia. And Mosquito lived like good 5-6 blocks from the Magnolia. And we always be running in the Magnolia. But none of us was from the Magnolia. But we stamped the Magnolia. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what's interesting about your life story? With you saying that you never had any aspirations to be anything in life. Well, you wanted to be a bad kid. And, you know, most kids, even if they don't want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer, or, you know, they'll say, well, I want to work at McDonald's. You know, young kids, their mind. But do you think that with you not having any aspirations to not be anything but to be a bad kid is what made it easier for you to go into the wrong path?
Yeah, I wanted to be a gangster.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a gangster, and I wanted to be good at it. And once I got in the streets and I saw where people were scared of me, people respect me, people like me, I was like, this what I want. This is what I want to be. But it wasn't until I got into the Calio project, I felt like, man, what have I done? Because those were gangsters and they was coming and I knew they was going to be playing with me, right? So I just felt like, man. But then I was like, I'm out here now. I had guys calling from Angola, our penitentiary, from all other little jails saying, oh man, such taking their side. Oh man, such taking your side. I had like old enemies that I was beefing with that's locked up telling me, hold your head up, man, handle your business. I'm like, man, this stuff's serious. So yeah, I always wanted to be a gangster. I never wanted to be a lawyer or a doctor or a fire engine man. No. I ain't no one. No.
So being that your father was an entrepreneur, military man, right? Is his name Johnny Williams?
Right.
Mr. Johnny Williams, right? So your father never inspired you, like influenced you? Like just seeing your father get into it. He had how many businesses? Was it 3 or 4?
Yeah, the laundromat. He had quite a few businesses.
Right. That didn't inspire you?
No.
Why not?
Because I wanted to be in the streets. Like when I saw youngsters my age wearing polo shirts, wearing different clothes, and the girls were crazy about them, and some of them was ugly little children, I felt like, man, she like him because he dressed nice. You know, so I wanted that. I wasn't inspired. And then mind you, also, so I go to jail in 1990 as a juvenile. Well, my first time going to jail, I broke in my cousin's house next door, tried to steal his Atari. And the people on the other side of the house, they snitched on me because I had to beat the little boy up over there, right? So they told him the police come to my to my elementary school. So once I got introduced to crime, that's all I wanted. I wasn't like, and then my father wasn't in the household with us as well. You know, he got a lot of children, so wherever he laid his hat, that was his home. You know, so I remember my mother having a boyfriend, and the thing about him, he taught me a little bit, but my mother never knew this until I come home and started talking about this. This man used to give me money
to go buy dope for him?
Yeah. And I was a teenage young, so, you know what I'm saying? I always tell people this. Everybody I looked up to, everybody I hung with taught me how to be a criminal, not to go be a mechanic or, you know, go do the doctor or a nurse or whatever. Nobody taught me that. They taught me how to get away with the crime. Go do that crime, boy, go handle your business and get away with it. So that's why now I dedicate my life to helping other children, because I promise I had it easy. I always been small, but I think people just liked me because I made them laugh. I was a finesser. And then when I got to my age where my phone vibrate. So when I got to going to adult jail, clowning and playing. So this big dude, he wanted to fight me. And everybody was looking because I had a reputation, right? He told me, you better not go on that yard. And everybody looking at me. I'm like, I got to go to that yard. And our cell was right across from each other. I say, hey, let me holler at you. Ronald, I think his name, Renard. He said, man, I'm going to beat your A. He's selling out. And I'm like, man, let me holler at you. Come to the gate. Come to the bars. Man, what you want? Because he was a little taller than me, too. I was like, listen, tomorrow I'm going outside. I'm going to the, and I'm going to be, I said, calm down. I'm going outside, and if you put your hands on me, I'm going to kill your little brother when I go home. Now you want to talk. Now you want to be civilized. Now you want to be respectful. So that's how I was able to get my way, too, letting people know I'm a home to your people. Growing up, so that was always exciting. So now I could go to hood. I'm meeting guys in jail. So me, now when I went to jail, I wanted to be a lawyer, a doctor, and all that. Then it was too late. Then.
Afterwards, it was too late. Right.
Now, one thing I will say, and I tell these children to this day, those houses that be in the neighborhoods, those stores that be closed down, and that we'll throw rocks, bust the window, we'll break in, do whatever, and then when the Asians, the Arab, when the foreigners come in, and we patronize their business, I'd be like, man, we should have took over those hoods, because now I'm in jail. I see guys budget $25 a month. So I'd be like, man, I know if I was getting rent, $500,000, I mean, I'd be good, and I'd be penitentiary rich. So it took, when I got in prison, I started sitting down thinking like, man, I should have done this, and this, but I always wanted to be a gangster.
Right.
You know, it's a fun fact, though, is that you escaped juvenile.
Oh, yes.
Twice.
Yes. I went up there. I drove back up. I heard they got females there now. So I went and did a little recording. And I heard, like, where the booth at, because they got it, like, a little different now. That infirmary is still up front, because all the dorms sit to the back. And I went to go look at it, right? And I heard somebody say, I said, let me get on around here before they call the police or something over, right? Because I didn't have permission to be, and I didn't want them to think I was trying to break someone out. But yeah, I remember that. Oh, man. Let me see. 2 people deceased, me and Bryce, the only 2 still living from that breakout. Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you this, gangster. So do you think you're actually a people pleaser disguised as a gangster?
Yes.
Elaborate.
I've never liked bullies, so I've always been the type laugh, smile, have fun. I never been one to want to come around. Like, this is how I met this big dope boy. So we went to this concert. There was about 30 of us in the Magnolia, and we was coming through. And I was in the front, and I was like, excuse me, like, you the person, with that kind of, group with you, you're going to walk through bumping people. I try to get out of my way because you got a team with me. I was like, excuse me. I always gave people respect first because I know if you violated what I was going to do. So that's why to this day is so many people that like me, right? So we got this situation going on where Hot Beezer, who be with Birdman, he's trying to separate the friends. Like, if he met you through me, but if you still dealing with me, he gonna cut you off or he gonna block you up. Why you talking to gang? Don't talk to him, you're a rat. So I'd be like, why are you trying to divide and conquer people I introduce you to, friends I introduce you to, and people are grown. People got their own mind. So it's this guy, the other day, Juneteenth. So Charleston White in the city in New Orleans. And I had passed uptown and I saw a police car right there and I saw a neighborhood. I saw the avenue blocked off. It was right by churches between Claiborne and Martin Luther King, right by the Melfamine Project. So I was like, what they got? I said, it must be some Juneteenth stuff. So I kept going. About an hour later, I get a phone call from Charleston. He said, man, I'm up here on Martin Luther King and Claiborne. I said, what you doing around there, boy? That's the hood. That's where the killers roam, So he's like, yeah, I said, who you with? By myself. So he put me on the phone with the guy at the Calio Project. And the guy at the Calio Project he put me on the phone with did time in the Fed for killing an informant on our set. So I go up there, jump out, parked on the neutral ground, and I'm seeing old gangsters that I haven't seen in 30 years. It was a guy that slept next to me. Oh, shout out to Skip. Old head didn't Skip from across the river. I remember leaving that man. I said, man, give me your name and number. So he slick threatened me. He's laying in his bed. And I'm sitting down right next to him, like how close we are. He said, man, let me tell you something. I got a lot of time. Don't take my name and number down if you're not gonna send me them pictures and that money like you say. I said, man, just give me it. And that was my first time laying eyes on him 30 years later, the other day. So, but I kept my word, and there was a few other guys that been in Angola now. They got the little nonprofit where they helping the children. And I thought these guys were gonna die in prison. So people always liked me because I've always been a cool guy.
Yeah, you were the class clown in school.
Yes. Yo, I've been held back in first grade, third grade,
fifth grade.
yeah.
Now, was it because of you acting up, or did you have like a little delay? Like, were you a little delay?
So, I wasn't slow because I was in all the good classes. Like, I'd never been in special ed.
Okay.
Yeah, I never been in special ed, but I never wanted to. So, I never liked to do this. I always thought when a teacher, I never want to read out loud. Don't ask me because I might not know a word and really choose to laugh and play a lot, right? So I was one of the ones that used to just cuss the teacher out, walk out, do this. And I remember this short little boy next to me. His parents wouldn't play that with him. He was like, man, cuss the teacher out for cuss. I'm like, man, you trying to buck me or get in my head. I do it anyway, but I ain't about to let you sit me out there. But I just was the class clown. And once I realized cutting school, not going to school at a young age, and my mother wouldn't whoop me, I just started doing what I want to do. But I always liked school because that's where all the girls was at. So we would go to Macy's, steal polo shirts, Jabot jeans, polo jeans, whatever, polo socks, and we'll go to school just to show off our outfits. But other than that, no.
Yeah, and you would do the fake grills.
Yeah.
And the grill fell out when the girl hit the grill. It fell out your mouth.
Listen, they had the Popeyes. So they had the, y'all be seeing them all, the pecan pies be in that aluminum thing. Mm-hmm. So Popeyes had the gold, and we used to cut the little thing out, make the golds. And you know, when you're in middle school, you got a mouth full of gold. That was big. Man, I remember the girl, she was black, she had like a little Jerry curl mushroom. I had her and this big red girl and this other female, we were just talking and we kicking it, man. My mother had bought me 2 polo shirts for Christmas, but she bought it early and had it in a gift under the tree. Yeah, you can't do that, mama. So, you know, we gonna go pry in the gift. So I took that tape off and and I said, oh, I'm gonna wear these polos. So I wore them, I put them back in the box though, but she whooped me for that because I had got the ring around the collar on them Jones. But yeah, that girl she was just too infatuated, man. She looking at my mom, and I don't know what made her just stick her hand in there. That joint hit the ground. I looked, and I just took out running because I was embarrassed, man. That was crazy, yo. That was crazy.
Let me go back a little because you mentioned you did like school, but when you realized your mom didn't whoop you for not going, you didn't really care to push yourself. Now, was it because your mom was too busy, like with having to work? To why she really couldn't pay much attention to you?
My mother just get up 5 a.m, and sometimes we would walk her to the bus stop because it still be kind of dark. She worked at the Sheraton. And one time my mother was supposed to buy me a polo outfit. So she told me to come to her job, and she had me to wait downstairs. And she would take it I walked across the street to the Canal place and went to the polo shop and tried to steal some polo socks and got caught. So they called my mother. My mother come over there. She paid for the size and gave to this little white boy walking by with his. I was so mad with her. But that lady used to make me, when we be in the store, she would have me walk in front of her with my hands in my pocket. I used to steal my butt off, man. Yes. Once I learned how to steal, I used to steal my butt off. But yeah, that was it because my mother had to work. And when she had work, and it's just me and 2 brothers. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. And you might could relate to this. Well, I don't know. But I always wish I had a sister because my mother used to make us wash dishes. We had to wash dishes for a week. Each one took turn for the week, right? And so it happened every week when my turn came up, it was a holiday. This lady cooking all this food, so I got to wash all these pots and pans. I used to be so mad. I always wanted a sister. I thought that was the sister job to wash the dishes. But
were you the youngest?
I'm the middle boy.
You the middle boy, okay.
To this day, everybody think I'm my mother's youngest because I stayed in trouble the most. Yeah, everybody think I'm my mother, and my younger brother, he a little taller than me, but I have a brother younger than me.
No, it's always the middle child that get it. That's
everybody
mischievous.
said it, yes.
It's always the middle child.
Yes.
So did your brothers follow the same path like you, your older and younger brother? Because you followed baby.
Right. So my younger brother, he attempted to get in the game. So this little boy, and they was having a shootout in Project. The little boy come shoot at him and shot this little boy in his eye. And I remember the police come and tell your little brother we need to talk. I said, y'all know. He said, we're going to arrest us. I said, well, y'all know what y'all got to do. I'm not telling my brother talk to y'all. So he go to jail. My mother, I said, Mama, calm down, because he want a little light. Let him see how I feel to be in jail. So he went to jail. He didn't say nothing. He come home and changed his life. So my little brother, he ain't do no crime, no nothing. After that, got guns in his name, everything. Now my older brother, yeah, he done been in jail, selling drugs. When the feds come got me, I thought they would come for him. I'm like, drugs stuff. The feds ain't coming for me. I go to jail for murder. But they can't got me. So my older brother, yeah, he lived that life. But now he's working. Because we always say this. We always say each other on the phone. Like, man, I'm too old to be going to central lockup. I am too old to be going to jail. So we always we'll be cracking a joke, but we both be serious. Be like, man, I don't never want to go back to jail. Time has changed. So when I left, it was pagers, beepers, prime code phone. They had the Nokia too, but now you can look at the people. It's like, oh man, there's just so much stuff out here. Like, I love it out here. I don't never want to go back to jail, man. For real. That's why I always make sure I'm careful with who I have around me, who I hang out with, or who car I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna ask you, man, is there anything in this car before I can get in your car? But sometimes I might not get in your car anyway because I got my own cars, So, but for the most part, no, my older brother, yeah, he was selling drugs. But the crazy part about it, so this set we should have, when I put up on my brother, like, what's up, dog? I give him dap like he a regular dude. Because I never wanted these guys to know this was my brother, my blood brother. Because I know how people would take it out on your family. And these guys we grew up with in the neighborhood never knew that me and him was blood brother, because I always went to juvenile jail. I always go to jail. So he's staying out, so he go to jail, I'm home. I go, so we miss each, but people we grew up in that same neighborhood know that me and him was brothers.
Wow. Until
I got shot in 96.
Yeah. You know what? I'm kind of glad you brought that up about before you hop in somebody's car, you always checking. There was a situation, there was an instance that baby came and picked you up, pulled up to your house, right?
The girl did that.
Right, pulled up to the house, right? You jumped in the car without even,
because I was infatuated.
Right, you was infatuated, right? So the girl that was sitting in the back seat, she pulled out the gun and, pointed in the back of your head, and baby was testing you. What was going through your mind at that time, man?
I felt I had been betrayed, because I'm like, this is a brother I'm looking up to. You got the money, the car, you dressing fly like everybody, and now you about to shoot me? You got this person back here. That blew me, and that stuck with me. I was like 10, 11. And ever since, like, I tell people, be careful who you let that back, or even when you get in a car. And man, right after that, I want to say about 96, I was tested again. Well, they almost tried, and these was older guys, and I had beef hits out on me and stuff, right? So me and this one dude, we driving, we just hanging out talking, because we about to team up, because we both got a common enemy out the mouth. But he bring me to this other ward with this old head. I did time with this old head, though. But when it come to money, they don't care. So I'm in the front seat, the dude driving. So the old head come by the window, he talking to us. He squat down. So when he agreed, I guess they talking, he said, yeah, I'm gonna come take that ride with y'all. So when he got up, when he turned around, his shirt rose up. So I saw the gun in the small of his back. He go inside, he come back and try to, I said, oh no, and I jumped out the car, you get up front, you go ahead. And I got in the back, because I had seen you had a gun in your small of your back. And I'm like, why you want to come ride with us? Man, bring me back to the project, So that's what that was about.
It's something that you said, which I thought was also interesting as well, because most people will say I'm the product of my environment, but you say the environment is a product of me. So what do you mean by that?
So I always tell people, I think that us in society, like, we parrots. Like, we hear people say something, if it sounds cool, we respond to it, right? So let's take Hialeah. Say it's a new development, right? And they got a nice little neighborhood, bunch of houses, stores, all that. So right now, nobody live there, so there's nothing going on there, right? So if you put a few of us from the Poke and Beans or the Scott Project, whatever, and we into this little subdivision, now we about to set the tone. We better start selling drugs, or we about to we got prostitution going on, or whatever we got going, gambling house, we about to set the tone. So that's why we be like, no, the environment is a product of me, because I'm the one doing this. That's just how I mean, if I'm wrong, y'all correct me, but I just be feeling like when they say, oh, I'm a product of my environment. Now, maybe when the ones who come later on find that they're, yeah, but usually wherever I'm at, I'm going to start something.
That's just like how we have gentrification now, because like Miami area, it was totally different from what we knew when we were growing up as kids. Because like Biscayne Boulevard was like all prostitutes. OG has also shared stories where he robbed people like tourists that was coming here, and now you see white folks walking with freely, but that wasn't the case back in the day. So to your point, the product of
I bet you if you went to Overtown back in the 80s, early 90s, you would have thought you was in New Orleans.
So, when you say about the gentrification, right, I was just picturing the Magnolia Project. I'm like, I be seeing white people jogging, walking, the dogs. And I say, man, we never seen white people uptown moving all around our hoods. I was like, wow, But the crazy part about it, they still commit crime, but the white folks has come back in and everybody just mixed in. But I be like, wow, you would have seen that. So now I still be double checking. So when I'm driving, so if I put up at a red light, I pull up somewhere, I look, and I'm be honest with you. So this when I'm in New Orleans, right? Every time I look to the left or right, I see a white or a Spanish, and I be like, phew. All right, cool. Because I'm used to coming up in the car. I'm black here, black, blacks everywhere. So you don't know who in the car, who might open fire. But now I be seeing whites and Spanish. I be like, okay, good, So yeah, a lot has changed down there now. Like when I go to events, the first thing I look for is the police car or the sheriff car. When I go in there and I see them police and sheriff with the gun, I'm like, all right, good. Back in the day, I hated them. I couldn't stand the police or the sheriff. I didn't want them nowhere around because I was committing crime. Yeah. But now that I'm a civilian, where y'all at? Protect and serve. This y'all job. Come on. Man, I love to see the police.
Hey, man, that's funny. That's funny.
How time has changed.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes. For real, man.
Time has changed.
I love to see it, bro.
Right.
I walk up and shake the hand.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
man.
So, Terrance, let me ask you this, man. So, do you feel that you're important to the culture, man?
Very
Why?
important.
Why?
Because I have started, set a lot of trends. Well, not a lot, but some, right? So, I'm going to use it for example, like me and the Hot Boys. So that just was a hood thing. Dressing nice, cars, jewelry, money, girls, etc. Give it to Birdman, they make the music, they go big. So there was this youngster, 25, I had to been down 20-something years. He was 25 years old. So me and him started talking when he first come off the bus. So we had the dome, so they called for us to go to chow. He walked like out the door. I let him go in front of me. And on the back of his neck, he had Hot Boy tattooed. And I'm like, he 25 years old. He was 2 years old when I got locked up. And this is something I started. He got tattooed. He almost know I'm the one that started that. So when I come home, so a lot of people the internet, right? So you got a lot of street guys, they infatuated with old gangsters. So for me, my thing was, you all infatuated with this gangster lifestyle, right? Or these gangsters, but you don't know what's in store for you in prison. Got guys prey on a week. Like guys do the saw press, might pull up on you. Yeah, man, get this for commissary, get this for me. Boy, I got your back. And don't pay you back. Beat you, get mad. So I've seen a lot of bull, and I just thank God that I've never been extorted. Nobody never robbed me. Nobody never jacked me, because like guys will run in your cell with a handkerchief on and with the knife and rob you, stab you, take your stuff, make you get off the compound. So I've never had to go through that. So when I come home, I seen there was a lot of gangsters on the internet. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this approach, because I have a nonprofit. I was saying, I'm going to show the youngsters, like, okay, you out here enjoying life, you doing this, you doing that, but when you go to prison, y'all be 10, 15 deep, but nobody got a dime in Chinese money when you get locked up. You can't bond out. You can't get an attorney. So I said, I want to show these youngsters this. So I went to this gym. Me and Diesel out the mouth. And this guy named Pac-Man, he was hosting it. So he sent me a text message. We in this room, right? And you text me, you like, listen, the lady in here, she don't want you here, because she just know Terrance Gangster Williams. She think you're going to be bad, because there's a bunch of children in there with their parents and stuff. So you would text me that and talk about her. So she get up first. Yeah, I'm a sheriff. When I walk through there, the guys get out the way. They respect me. Da, 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 right? So I can that resonated with me. So when she finished, I get up I be like, you know what? She got a good point because when I was in jail, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And I'm like, on the streets, we don't tell our own mother, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. We don't tell our own father, yes, sir, no, sir. But we telling these people here, yes, sir, no, sir, right? So I'm talking and people laughing and he laughing, he's shaking his head, he excited, right? So as soon as we were finished, he rushed over there and said, I want to take a picture with y'all. So the guy texts me again, that's the one who ain't want you here. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You judge the book by its cover. So I've been through, man, I've been shot in 91 in my foot, 94 in my arm, come out my chest, shot back here.
Stabbed?
Huh?
You were stabbed?
Yeah, no, my bad. I got stabbed. I got shot in 94 back here, and my left button came out through my right thigh, traveled. I had a colostomy bag on, urine tube. Then I got stabbed in 94. Then I got shot again in 96. So juvenile life, state bid, federal life. So I've been through, stabbed, shot. So both of them hurt. I ain't been in a car wreck. So I've been through so much, and then to be affiliated with some of the most famous people in the rap game. Even when you look at Master P, for him talking about me in the Fed magazine, Lil Wayne, one of the best rappers in the world, to put my name in his song. So a lot of people want to know, like, who is this person? What did you go through? What did you do? So I let them know, look, I went through this, but there's consequences behind that stuff. So think about this. All my friends, all my best friends, everybody I love died in their early 20s. Except for Leslie Duplessis, he was older. But everybody else died in their early 20s who I looked up to. Like him, doing the Sterling Mosquito. So I'm 51 years old. So God bless me to still be here,
So with all the negativity you see that's going with the culture, how can we change that?
We're not gonna be able to change that. You can only grab who you can grab, help who you can help. Because I look at me, for example. I never wanted to hear, boy, get yourself together. I don't want to hear that. I want to know, how can I get this dope? How can I get this money? How can I ride? How can I take this hit? So now I learned with these youngsters down in my travels, first we got to come bearing gifts. They ain't trying to hear you this side story. So I talked to this one youngster in Farmerville, Louisiana. He was with his mother. And he had an ankle monitor on. They had some little gang shooting going on out there, not too far from Shreveport. I said, boy, you love your mother, huh? He said, yeah, man. I said, if a dude walk up and grab your mother butt or slap your mother in Walmart, what you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna air him out, I'm gonna da-da-da-da, right? He showing that he protect his mother. And he had a little sister too. I said, so let me ask you this. So if you go to jail and somebody do that, how you gonna protect your mother and your sister then? And he looked. I said, we gotta think sometime because we love our family and we'll go to prison behind our family. But if you locked up and you can only call home and send threats, anybody wanna hear that? Nobody don't care nothing about your threats. You in jail, I just had to tell my son, like, this used to be my youngest son. He 28, he in the feds. Look at that life sentence. So he sell puppies and he been hustling in there. So one of his little friends had his money and I said, bro, you in jail. They don't think you getting out again. So of course they're going to not answer your calls and you call and cuss them. I said, and another thing, stop cussing them out because when you cuss them out, that put more fuel for them not to want to give you nothing. I said, bro, you got to be patient with them, dude, and you should never trust them in the beginning. That's what you got me out here for. I just come from there. The same place where you at. And it's crazy I'm talking about that because I remember my mother being in the courtroom when I got life, and I remember sitting in that courtroom with my son, and I was like, wow. I sat through the whole trial, and I'm like, man, my mother sat here to watch it. Now I'm here watching my son. And then, go ahead.
So speaking on your son, do you believe your son was targeted because of who you are?
No. Let me tell you something.
So do you think that his consequences are the sin of his father, you?
No.
Okay.
And you know what else? I'm going to answer no to. I don't think I failed him as a father.
That was the next
That's
question
why
I was going to ask.
everybody always let me tell you why. Because I went to jail at 23. I was a child having children, right? So the average person in the ghetto, we have sex with these young women, get them pregnant. You know, we selling dope. Here you go, girl. But when we go to jail, like we ain't, because we not raising our children. We leaving the mothers to raise the children, number one. So for my son, he got me good too, and I fell for that goofy stuff. So he started riding a dirt bike. He started getting good at riding them bikes, right? So like one of my daughter mother was like, that boy on Snapchat was something big as my own. I'm like, boy, you posted girl? No, daddy out here lying on me. All I do is be riding my dirt bike. So what I did is we used to have East Bay book with all the tennis shoes. So I would buy this boy like 5 pair of tennis shoes to go to school because I was like, I know how people want to skip, because I was going to want to skip school if I don't have a nice pair of tennis shoes. I didn't want nobody to make fun of me or say, you know. And I remember in middle school, I had one of the prettiest girlfriends, fine girl. She deceased now too, in middle school. But I had some regular Reebok shoes. I tried to sew them at home, and then the string coming loose because I didn't know how to really sew the shoes right. So that's what led me to go at breaking these cars over, because I'll be on St. Charles Street where the white folks at, and grabbing purses and bags. I knew they had money in them, and I got me in a fresh pair of Jordans. Then I started coming up, but he started wanting to live that life. He started hearing these stories and wanting to be out there, you know. And I would call my son, waited till he turned 18 years old to start going to jail. All your juvenile, you stayed good in school, doing good. He turned 18 years old, got caught with a gun. He got caught with a gun twice. Then drugs, and then he got caught up with the RICO for 2 homicides. And the crazy part is, one of the females out my project, her son, because me and her come up together, it was her son that he was being tried for. So she in the courtroom, we in the courtroom, and we all come up kicking it. I'm like, man, it's crazy. So she said a mouthful at the end. She said, now we both lost our children. I lost mine to the street, you losing yours to the system. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I can go still see mine. Go talk to mine. But I just think that them children, some of them want to follow in your footsteps, and some of them just jump out there, and because they're being targeted, because, okay, you out this project, I'm out this project, we come and shoot at anything around here. And man, I ain't about to take that and go to shooting back, you know? So I'm never going to justify my son wrongdoing, but he made his own choice, just like I did. And the crazy part about it, I was 23, he was 22. Yes, and he left 3 daughters out there. Yeah. So I just talked to him before I came here.
So what's your relationship like with the daughters, with your granddaughters?
Everybody, man, I got like about 16, 17 grandchildren. But I got a 2-year-old too. Yeah. My own son. I just talked to his mother today, so I got a lot going on, man.
So how do you balance all of that?
First, I don't hit the streets like, if I travel to go to like different shows with Charles White, and I like to drive. I drove, actually, the last time I was here, I drove 20 hours here and back, me and Crypto Jesus. So I like to travel. I like to get on the highway, right? But whenever somebody called me, hey, such and such need this, such and such, all right, because like I don't do it like I don't care about the materialistic stuff no more. So they don't have to worry about me trying to get the Gucci, the Louis, the shoes, spending all this unnecessary money. I know I got these grandchildren. And like he just called me, and on July 6th, they got these hot sausage sandwiches, something special coming to the jail. And the crazy part about it, his co-defendant, which is his cousin, he didn't know this was his cousin. They went to trial together, so I got to send both of them. So I always send them money, but I was like, well, I got y'all. Don't worry, because I know this come once a year, and I just talked to him before I come in here, you know. So I got a good relationship with everybody. Everybody like me. Everybody. You know, I don't have a problem with nobody. That's why I call myself Mr. Answer Right Back, because I know I was once in the street, so I know, you know, how to provoke people, how to upset people. So I stay clear of that. And I always tell people, I don't buy friendship. It's too expensive. You always be the friends and when you got to spend the most money on. So with me having grandchildren, my son in jail, and a 2-year-old, and I got a mother, man, I got so much on my plate just dealing with family. I ain't got time for all that bull crap.
Your moniker, hold on, sis. Let me ask him this real quick. Your moniker seems to suit you, man, because you seem like you're a very quiet dude. You do less talking. You don't do much talking. Because, you know, they say the ones that do all the talking
be fake.
Yeah. You understand? And
it's like that dog behind the gate. So you open that gate, you take out running to the back.
Yeah, and that's the vibe that I get from you.
That give me a headache fussing and doing all that talk.
You're very reserved.
Yeah, I prefer to sit back and just watch everything. Let me tell you, it's crazy you say that. So Charles White said the same thing. Like, he might be standing over here, he'd be like, what gangsta? I'll be like, right here. Man, you quiet, man. You be, bro, like, this your show. I'm just here to support you and make sure you okay. But yeah, I in my travels, I've learned that the one that talk a lot, people tend not to like them. you're not getting invited to the party and all that. And with me having this second chance at life, I like to go to the nice events and be invited to be amongst the civilians. So once I'm amongst the civilians, I know like, okay, I've got another chance. I am accepted over because I know I can go over here in the hood and go pull up because that's all they be wanting to bull. But I like to be over here because I feed off of other people's energy. You know?
It's crazy you said that because you had a friend, a homeboy that was very quiet, and he you referenced that. You said he was super quiet and he didn't talk much. His answers were short.
That's what I was just talking about,
Yeah.
George. He ticked me off when I first met him, man.
Yeah.
Bro, that had I was like say no. And he just was just, and we already young. I mean, we maybe like a year or so older than me, but he just so ticked. And I just talked to you. That's what I was talking about, to be locked up for the 30 so him, man. He had me so ticked off with that every time. I'm trying to be your friend, man, and you give me one answer. And he just was, and the crazy part about it, like he would do this, like I'm right here, he right here, and he wouldn't even look me in my eye. He was focused somewhere else, and you instead of talking, is this second down here? Yeah. He started looking this way. He ain't paying me no, like I'm a little P all the time, right? He had me so bad. And we became the best of friends.
Those are dangerous ones too, man.
Yes.
He was a professional car thief too, huh? George Cooks, that's his name?
Yeah.
George Cooks. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, it was a car you guys stole. It was a Mitsubishi Galant. That was our first car.
Man, yeah. With the digital thing?
Yeah.
Oh man. I just
We had a gold one.
Yeah, I think we was a white one. But I remember it was wet that night, man. When we was flying, we was about to go across the river. We flying down the street, and man, we had a head on. The guy who I had a wreck with, he asked my best friend Hank a few days ago, man, what's up with Tell Games? I see you doing good. Look out for me. Wreck my car. Man, you talking about something back in 89, 90 somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You talking about that car.
Yeah, our Galant was an 89.
Yeah,
Gold
Mr.
joint.
Yeah, bro. Yep.
Yes.
That's crazy, man.
All right, so I'm going to go back a little because you made an honorable mention of Master P. You were, of course, thought to be the person to kill his cousin Randall Watts. But now you guys are in a good space, which is, good after so many years.
So, Randall, brother T-Dub, came to the prison where I was at, and we walked the track and we talked. So I was like, I said, who killed Mosquito? He said, man, I can't tell you that. He said, who killed Randall? I said, man, I don't want to talk about that. But we walked the track and talked. And the crazy part about it, the same day Randall was killed, my daughter Tasia was born. So I was at the hospital the day he, but of course the city going, oh, it was getting, because where Randall was killed at, it was a Heart of the Calio project where nobody really had heart to come back there, or if you went back there, you didn't make it out back there on the back street back there. So, but the crazy part, I was at the hospital with my daughter being born. So that's why his brothers and a lot of them kind of eased up, but P didn't know. So P did an interview in the Fed magazine. He was like, me and Gangsta met up at the park. I'm like, no, we didn't, because I already said, word, if I catch you, we gonna hold court. I'm trying to do you, because it was a rumor that P had hit out on me. So it started at 15,000, it went to 30,000, it went to 100,000. So, and the reason why I be speaking on, because he spoke about it first in the Fed mag. I still got that clip at home, the article actually. So, but we talked, and certain things got out to certain people. They knew okay, this happened, this one person did this. Like I found out the guys that killed Mosquito. So they know who killed Randall. And it took us a while. We would talk, and some of them would still be like we cool, I know what's up, but I still don't trust you. You gotta keep them, because we come from a lot of the violence. So just to be like, all right, I'm gonna get in a car with you. No. And then we gotta take baby steps. Now we still, and some of us still not there. Like some of them guys, I still haven't ran across since I've been home. I've talked to a few on the phone, but yeah. So Pete, hearing from the hood, thought I did that, and I had nothing to do with that.
Is that the reason why Cash Money and No Limit never collaborated in the earlier years?
Yes. So the artists, Cash Money artists, No Limit artists, never had a problem. Never, they cool to this day. They never had to, but the problem was, right now, we could do us a verse in here and we could email it to where we got it. Back then, we didn't have it. You got to come to the studio and lay your verse. So how P gonna come in here with the Cali, his crew, and the Magnum? Man, it's gonna be a bunch of bloody bodies out there in that hallway. So yeah, that was because of us. me and the boys. So that's why when I seen they was doing they about to do the Cash Money No Limit 2, I was like, all right, cool, you know?
I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to touch on that.
Okay, let's touch on it then.
And speaking of which, Mosquito saved your life too. There was an incident where you was at, was it after Carmelita, you came off the bus? Was it something like that along the line? Or you was selling in front of the store? Or how did that story went?
So actually I saved Mosquito life around Second Danielle.
Right.
So we selling marijuana. He wanted to graduate to selling crack. I was like, man, I don't know about that. But Mosquito was the one always the risk taker. He go first, then I follow. All right, but so this dude, oh, and that's crazy. I just recently at across the river in New Orleans at Navy Federal, I ran across the dude brother, his best friend or whatever, and we dapped and hugged each other. We hadn't seen each other since the 80s. So I come around the corner and the guy choking Mosquito. The dude told Mosquito. So he choked Mosquito, so I pulled a gun out and shot him to get him all Mosquito. And it was one rock, one cracked rock. He was trying to. I'm like, man, this stuff crazy. But back then, you know, we didn't care. We just thought so. Sterling, this other dude's name, Skipper Paul, shout out to him. They was looking for us. So him and Mosquito, I think Mosquito shot him too. I had never seen him in a long time. So we was at Navy Federal. I was going to check on my YouTube check. And he jumped out of Camaro. He looking good. Because he used to get high at one time, but he got his weight up. Nice, calm. Like, man, he saw me. He was just so happy to see me. And we dapped and hugged. And now we are sending each other texts in the morning. Man, how you doing? Good morning, man. Keep your health. And I was like, wow, this crazy. You know, for me to see an old op. And we see each other now. We embrace each other like we brothers. Like we grew up in this, you know, always on the right side.
That's what's up. I gotta ask you this, man. Before I forget my train of thought.
Okay.
You guys always reference across the river. It'll be you, Master P, Currency, whoever's from Louisiana. I know it's the Mississippi River, right?
Okay.
Part of that. What is that, man? Like, explain to the people, man.
So you got 3rd Ward, 4th Ward, 5th Ward, 6th Ward, 7th Ward, 8th Ward, 9th Ward, 10th Ward, 11th, 12th, 17th over here, right? So like you just said, you got the Mississippi River running here. So you got the bridge. On this side is the 15th Ward. This the only, over here we got the 15th Ward over here that's still part of New Orleans. So we said, man, I'm going across the river. You going over the bridge, going over there on West Bank. And they be saying, that's crazy because the little dude just told me we did a vlog. And he was like, man, y'all be saying, oh, we about to go over the river. We be saying we going over the river. Yeah, y'all are, because y'all coming back on this side of the river, you know. But we call this side the West Bank. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's the West Bank. We going on the West Bank. They going on the East Bank. Yeah, that's what we're across the river. All us, we live on this side. So you got to go on the bridge. And now they got a ferry as well. Like the little boat that you could put your car on there too. You could ride across to get on their side of the river too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I know why I brought up Carmelita. Didn't you delete her baby daddy?
Well, I shot him. No, I shot him.
Okay. Okay.
So, yo, that's crazy you said that. So this dude, shout out to Coy. He did time in Angola. He home now. So, and I was at this restaurant not too long ago, and they got this tall, like 6th Street kind of built black dude, beard, and he's over like where the guy over there. He's just staring at me, right? So we sitting back in the corner, and I'm like, man, I ain't got no gun on me or nothing. I'm in New Orleans. I'm out here in shout out to Ty Nola. So I'm eating the food. I got my brother all that's in there. But Byron Cole was like, you remember such stuff? Like, and I looked at him. But you know, he got the beard, so he's older now. And I'm like, man, and this guy who I'm talking about, right? So at the peak of me beefing with the 10th Ward, I was in Carmelita house sleep, and he came and woke me up. Man, you better get from back here. Boys out there. So I went through the back door, and me and him had met up. But no, her I didn't know this was her son's father, right? So he was kind of like a little leader, kind of like a wild person, right? So we in the high school dance, everybody looked up to him. So me and him wound up facing off with each other. And I go to jail, so some people at my project shot at him. So I guess he felt, because I'm out the Magnolia Project, I was around his club, minding my business. I wasn't on no bull crap or nothing. And he's sending signals to telling everybody, watch out, I'm about to kill a gangster. So, oh man, shout out to him. Me and him just reunited. I just talked to him, Turkey. Turkey pull up in the truck. He was like, man, old boy, that told me he about to kill you. And then Turkey pulled off. Then the dude, Norris out the milk, come over. He said, man, don't look yet. But the dude across the street over there said he about to kill you. He said, don't worry, I got a gun. I got a 45 and a small in my back. So he got this turquoise nylon see-through, like a white beater. And he walks across the street to the club. Now, when I look to the left, there's nobody here, no calls and nothing. I'm standing on this corner by myself. So when I look over to the right, the dude kneeling down with a big old chrome gun in hand. But I'm like, oh, he faking. Because you telling everybody, you should just came and made your move, right? So I tell my partner, and both of them deceased to this day. La Papa, he just died a few months ago. And my homie Red, we was in a little crackhead car. And I said, man, go get the car. So I walked across the street to Ryan. I saw him, and he was a killer too, but he deceased now. I said, he might got a gun on him, but I said, nah. I jumped in the car, we left. I come back. The guy was like, see how close she is? I'm in the back seat. Well, he was walking to his car at first. I was like, I'm about to jump out and shoot him right now. I said, nah, because his friend might got a gun with him. And then I wanted all the girls and the guys to see me shoot him. I was trying to show out. So he turned around from his car and walked back over to my burger. So they like, she's here, and they like right here in the front of each other. And I pull up right here, this close. And he say, oh, I ain't got beef with you. I got beef with the gangs at the Magnolia. And I hung out the window, hit him. About like 10 times. He ran, he fell. Doris hit him 4 more times. So we go to jail. He survived. We go to jail. So while we on B1, we argue I'm arguing with these guys at the tent while his project, right? We arguing about who used to win the fights in the high school dance. So he across from me and I'm across from him. We fussing. I said, you know, I'm about to come over there. We got to fight when I come over there. So his name, they call him Champ. Now I'm happy I ain't fighting him too. His name Mark. He's home. He just got out of Angola from a life sentence. He's out on life probation, life parole or whatever. He be mad sometimes. I be like, bro, you free. So me and him was supposed to fight because he had the tent wall. So we didn't fight. I'm happy we didn't fight because that boy could fight. So and I ain't want to ruin my reputation, but we arguing about that. So one day somebody say, Gangsta, what was I? He said, man, you know, old boy. Well, first when we was in court, he came to court on us. So me and him were fussing in court. Me and the guy shot, and then I turned back around. Then my co-defendant started fussing with us, so they grabbed my co-defendant and booked him with public intimidation. So one day I'm in the day room and they called my name. They had a newspaper, and he go to jail for trying to rob a bank, and he got caught with the gun in the mask. So now he can't come to court. So they offered my first co-defendant. Well, they let one guy go. My co-defendant Norris. They said they offered him probation. They didn't want to offer me probation because I was there for a murder too on another charge. So they got him. Offered him probation. He took the probation. He got on the stand the same day. And he was like, man, I did that. Terrance ain't had nothing to do with that. I was like, got y'all now. So 2 weeks later, they offered me probation. So they gave me a 10-year suspended sentence, 5-year probation. I was like, oh, let's roll. So I took that, went home. But 94 was a bad year for me. I got out September 93. January 94, I went to jail for intimidating a witness. February for murder. Got out in May. I got stabbed in my chest in June, shot up in July, back in jail for August, got out in January on probation bond. I got caught with a 45 across the river. Back to that across the river again. Coming out of Mary Poppins. Stayed there 5-6 days, got out. I went to court in February of 95, and the judge was like, man, you've been getting in too much trouble. I'm just going to violate your probation. I was like, yeah, and I got to collide me, but I got to get that reversed. Don't worry about it in jail. I'll get you good medical care. So he says, go sign that paper and come back to turn yourself in tomorrow. I said, no, where this man about to let me go home right now? All right, Kelvin Johnson, Section E, black judge. Signed that thing. Man, I went to that Magnolia, packed all my stuff, and shot downtown by this girl named Trina. It'd be Trina, her sister Ruben, her other sister, and her auntie. Man, I was in the house with 4 women. Oh, man, I was sleeping in the room with Trina, but I'd be thinking because her sister was next door. I'd be thinking about her sister because they look alike. But, man, I stayed there till March, got caught in the Magnolia, went to jail. I'm thinking I'm going to get the 10-year suspended sentence, but he gave me the 5-year probation and gave me time credit search. Every time I went to jail for murder, he gave me time credit search. So I only had to do like a year and 1 month. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I hope Richard Broomfield is still alive because you owe that man an apology for using his alias, and I hope you didn't mess up his record.
Yeah, man, my
using that
homeboy.
man name.
He's still alive. Yes, he still is. He was a good boy, Richard Broomfield. That's in my
Until
PSI.
you-
Yeah, use that. That's a fact. Yeah, he's still alive. I hollered at his cousin Reggie the other day. Yeah, man. Shout out to Richard Broomfield.
So I
Rich.
kind of want to switch gears, man.
Okay.
I want to get into the music, right?
Let's go.
So why didn't Terrance take music seriously, man? You seen your brothers blowing up in the industry. Why you ain't take it serious?
Because the heroin was making more money than the music back then.
Dog food is what they call it.
Yes. That was a rich man high back then.
You didn't see the vision?
No, I saw. You gotta think about this here. I was a teenager. I had a red Mercedes-Benz across the river, and then I had a blue Mercedes-Benz on my side of the river. My girl had a GS300 Lexus. So I'm young with the materialistic stuff. So I'm getting money, girls, dress. So the thing was, cash money wasn't making big money back then. They were selling CD. They were just starting. I'm at the peak, man. I'm married to the hood. I'm married to the game. I'm plenty money. I'm getting some of my money. I'm leaving money on their bus with them. Man, baby, hold this here. Hold this $100,000. Hold it. Back then, that was money. Now, boy, it's hard now. Yo.
So did Baby or Slim try to
Yeah.
try to get you off the streets? Like, come on, man, we doing this. We going this illegal route. Come on, man. Come to the family.
So my phone was tapped. Birdman was like, man, we about to go out. We about to go on a tour with MCA. One time I was like, man, I ain't about to worry about no tour. I'm married to the hood. Then one time I was like, you know what? I'm going to come and ask my appeal because this is the time I'm beefing with different projects. I got different beef with everybody at one time, so I don't know where it's going to come from, right? I said, okay, I need to go ahead and reset. All right, I'm going to come on tour with y'all. But I didn't go. Because like I say, they didn't have the deal. I got locked up March 6, 1998. They got the $30 million deal March 30th, 1998. The same month I went to the Fed, they got that deal.
We're Universal, right?
Yeah, so I wasn't home for none of the bling bling stunting and all, none of that. I was locked up, federales. So yeah, I didn't see that vision that they saw. All I knew, I was making money every day in this hood. So yeah, I didn't see that.
So do you have regrets?
Not at all. I tell people I don't regret nothing I've done in life, and this is why. I've never took a child's life. I've never took an innocent person's life. I've never raped a woman. Ever, ever, ever. So, in the game, you got guys that are so violent, so disrespectful, they disrespect women. I got 5 daughters. To me, no mean no. If I must plan, to this day, if I joke around, kick with a woman, and she say no, all right. I don't, so everything I've done in life, and I've never drank alcohol, I never smoked weed, I've never drunk pills, I've never done heroin, cocaine, never done nothing. So I've taken lives, of course. I've done wrong. Everybody whose life I took was in the streets with me. And now that I know that's not right, you don't justify, you still can't take somebody's life, but that's what I did. So no, I don't regret nothing I've done in life because what I have done has helped become the man I am today.
So in that street life, it's like kill or be killed.
There you go.
So you was the one.
Yeah, the bullets hurt.
deleting.
Yeah, that hurt. That bullets hurt.
Yeah,
yeah.
I can imagine.
You can speak from experience.
Yeah, the bullets hurt,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I got hit with a 40.
Right.
Yeah.
So with you being the creator of the name Hot Boys,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like sometimes you should be compensated? Maybe on the back end because there was no contract established with you and Baby and Slim?
No,
Okay.
because
Explain.
from March 6, 1998 till January the 3rd. No. Yeah, January the 3rd, 2022. I still got receipts where I was getting $3,000, $4,000, $20,000, money from cash money, checks when I was in prison. And I was partially handicapped there. I can't sell drugs, I can't make no money, so I got to depend on them. And I had Birdman phone number, direct line. I had his son, his children, emergency phone number. I had the number to the office. They had an account out in New York, shout out to Miss Gard, where she would send me money. So they took in my whole bid, bro, my whole bid. I'm like 6 months when I went to the hole, he cut me off because I was in the hole uninvestigated for selling drugs. And he felt like, man, I'm taking care of you. Why you still doing that? But other than that, man, them men took care of me. No, I don't feel like they owe me nothing. That's why I don't never cry or get upset when I online. Now I want to ride in that Rolls Royce. Now I ain't gonna lie, I want to ride in the Phantom. I want to go in that big old mansion, ride that jet. But you know what I say? And it's for every religious person. If you believe in God, then you gotta just follow the process. So God removed all that materialistic stuff from me. Because in prison, that's where you find some of the most holier than thou people in jail. Christianity, Islam, Hebrew, whatever you think about, they in jail, go to their religious service faithfully. But when they come home, that's the big test. They take the kufi off. They stop it on it. And that's one of the things I always pray and ask God to continue to allow me to pray. So I just look at it like God removed all that stuff from me and test me. So now I'm going to take all it from him and see what you're going to do now. Because, if you think about it, like, I'm able to come home and come to all that stuff. I've been so blind by that. I'm going to pray tomorrow. I'm going to pray later. I'm going to pray. And might just forget about God and my religion. Now, you ain't got nothing distracting you, boy. So that's why I don't mind helping people with the YouTube. I show people I built my platform from the ground up. Just imagine if I got a co-sign from Birdman, Juvenile, Wayne, BG, Turk, one of them. I'm at 225K now. I'll be at $500,000, if not $1 million by now. But I'm happy with what I got because I built it from the ground up on my own without them.
And no one can take it away from you.
There you go.
Yeah, they can't take it away from you. Because I remember I heard you said something that if you would have came home and, of course, Baby and Slim would have received you, you still kind of would have been under some type of restrictions.
No, what I was saying was out of what
you meant?
Thank you. That's what that's right. Help me out. Okay. So what I mean is this: say I come home, and Bird got the house out here in Miami. He got all the cars, so he gonna let me drive and you do everything I want. This family, right? So now I might have been still up under them, like following them. I'm not worried about getting my own because all of this is at my disposal. So I need my own. You got a lot of guys that come on be content with, man, Bird got the Phantom, he got the Rolls Royce, he got the jets, he got all this stuff. This family, I'm about to live, I'm about to hang with him and ride with him, tour, but they don't got their own. And you got them guys, some of them that's running with him got children and can't take care of their own children because they so busy running and got their nose up his butt. So that's one thing I looked at like, man, it's a blessing that I, do my own thing. Like I got my auction license now, so I go get cars, sell cars now. I'm working on my movie. I'm working on getting more capital for my movie to do the movie My Life Story and really like the hood stuff. Yeah, we're putting all that together, call them boys at war.
Gotcha. The Cash Money No Limit tour is coming up, man.
Right.
Why did it take 30 years to make this happen, man? Do you think it was P, Birdman, and Slim, their egos wouldn't allow them to bring the two companies together to have such a historical event?
Yes, the egos. Bird still don't like P to this day.
Why?
Because when Bird and them was supposed to be getting signed prior, P said, if you sign them, I'm leaving. Bird felt like P tried to stop them from eating, from feeding their family. Right. So a person never forget that, And then P dissed them a lot in his songs. So, us coming from the streets and then you got dudes and you from the street, you playing with me on this music. So he, Bird always held that close to his chest. Yeah, man. So, but I was happy to see that they growing. See, and I would say this here. I'm going to steal his credit. So by me and T-Dub squashing out beef in the feds, Mac Newey and Callio, and then me running across other guys that I had beef with, like me and Ripper. So Bird looked at that because they watch everything. Trust me. They watch Wayne, Juvenile, they all got pages and they watch everything go on. They ain't missing nothing. They see me hatching, buried and hatching with a lot of street beef. So it's like, man, we ain't really had no beef. We just ain't like each other because our people ain't like. So for them to come together, I'm like, okay, they growing. Yeah, I was shocked at first, but I called it out on my chance. When they did the verse, I said, they about to do a tour.
I saw that.
And some people thought I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Then Pete came back and said, oh, I don't know nothing about that. No, that ain't true. Try to make me look bad, and not look.
Right. So when the tour start, right, So can the fans expect to see Birdman come out in a Lamborghini doing donuts like the video Get Your Roll On, like the Big Timers video,
So-
Get Your Roll On?
So I made a joke the other day about that, right? You know,
Right.
back in the day how they used to come out with the helicopter.
Uh-huh.
I said, all them dudes fat right now. They can't be on no helicopter flying across on stage now, you know. Now they might pull up, like you said, in the car.
Lambo.
Yeah, on
Right.
stage, but that's gonna be, and they first tour gonna start September 11th in Houston. And then the 12th, New Orleans.
And I know they have one November 6th, I believe is the date, in Sunrise, the Amerit Bank.
Yeah, Broward County.
Yeah, Broward.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So will you be going to the tour? Will you-
No.
Why not?
Because I feel like, so, how I put this without being arrogant and cocky?
No invite?
Okay, I'm one of the founders of that, right? So I gave money, protection. I made sure all the artists were straight. So the artists looked up to me, even though me and Juvenile are around the same age. These guys rapped about me. I would feel out of place in the audience. Tell me, hey, y'all waving, look at me, and I'm the one y'all rap about. I'm the one y'all looked up to. I'm the one that helped Cash Money become in the streets what they were. So I can't go from being a boss to a fan. I just can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna rule it out because, like, for NBA YoungBoy tour, like, one of my daughters, like, well, one of my two sisters, one of the daughters, the mother, and the auntie went to the thing. So my other daughter was like, Dad, let's mean you go, like, all right. And I'm happy I got a chance to go experience because I was seeing all these little young children, females, and all rapping NBA. I'm like, what the world? So I'm seeing Earl all the way up there in the nosebleed. I say, man, they love this little boy. So I got a chance to witness that with my daughter, you know. So I don't know. I may slide in one of them to go see what's going on, you know, see the fans, see the reaction to the people.
So if Birdman call you, are you going?
No,
Why not?
my ego won't allow me. I've been home 4 years and 6 months. You ain't called me. Why would I go now just for to please the fans? Am I getting paid? I need a check. I don't want to go because I made my own self famous because people heard my name, but they didn't know the face. So me putting in traveling here and there, you know, so I know.
What if Slim call you?
I was
love
about to
him.
ask that too.
Because you and Slim, you guys have a much better relationship than Baby. So if Slim call you, are you going?
No.
Why not?
Same reason. What'd you call me for? Am I getting paid to walk out on the stage to whine and talk to the people? Or you just want me to come? I'm not infatuated. If I'd have come home in my late 30s, where I still got a little spark in me, yeah, I'm old now. I don't want to go play and go show off and be broke. No, I need money. I need a lot of money.
Yeah, I feel you.
Man.
I see that Boosie is going to be the opening act.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you and Boosie at today?
Boosie, he's still my internet op. I don't want to be friends with Boosie because I knew I could always make a video. Like when my rent come or call no come, I know I could diss Boosie and get me a check. So I'm happy they picked Boosie on the tour because Turk won't be there. So Boosie got hits, so that's good for Louisiana culture. You know, and that's pretty cool. But I don't hate Boosie. I don't know Boosie. Never in my life met him. He heard stories about me and disreact. His feelings was hurt. And I understand it. But yeah, I haven't seen him since I've been home.
So hypothetically speaking, if you was at the concert, right, and you and Boosie encountered each other, what that reaction would be like, man? What the conversation would be?
Well, I'm going to laugh and hoping somebody record just so I could troll him, but I'm going to try to hug him if his bodyguard's going to pull him back. I come with peace, bro. This is what I tell people. I don't want to do no violence because it's like 20 people I want to delete. You know how you think back like, okay, he killed my best friend, he killed Donnie, he killed Sterling, he killed this one, he killed this. So I'm like, if I entertain any violence in the streets, I may as well just go crazy with it. So that's why I keep that compressed and I'm going to turn the other cheek. I'm going to be the bigger man. That's why I don't put myself in situations to get into confrontation with people. I just go this way. You know, I don't want to live that life no more. I like what I got going on now. Peaceful, come to Miami, chill, get me some food, and rest. So if I see him, I will be trying to hopefully somebody got the camera where I could hug him and take a picture with him and show all his gangster street dudes. I see, boy, Boosie love me. But I wouldn't be trying to go. The reason why I wouldn't try to attack him or harm him for number one is, we grew up with sticks and stone and break my bone, but words will never hurt.
Right.
So that's number one. And number two, when you look at it, he unintentionally helped me. Because with him dissing me, he didn't know I would blow up off that. That's how I got the people champ, because he was dissing me on Twitter. And his followers, a lot of people was helping me. I said, these people like me. Because I didn't know nothing about Twitter. I still don't have a Twitter. But people were sending it to me like, oh, yeah, they on your side. They think I was like, oh, okay, I'm the people champ. So I had fun with Boosie, But, yeah, I wouldn't try to harm him or do nothing to him because he hasn't done nothing to me.
You mentioned that Turk was completely cut off from the tour or any situation Cash Money got going on because of his interview on Drink Champs. Was it really that serious, or was it a different situation that was already brewing, and that interview on Drink Champs was just the breaking of the how do you say that, the camel? Rephrase that for me. You know what I mean.
She
you
said
know,
that,
you
but
get
she,
where I'm going.
yeah,
I know what you're going with it.
That's what broke the
straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. So people thought, oh man, you ain't in the huddle, you don't know what's going on.
Right.
And I say, man, when I looked at that, I say, man, Birdman not gonna like this. Birdman don't like this. Birdman gonna take it to heart. So I always tell people that, the truth told through the joke, and I always tell people this, I got somebody in every camp. So I'm gonna get the first hand low. So when I drop this low on the people, they be thinking I be capping. Cause they like, man, you ain't in the huddle, you don't know Birdman don't mess with you. But that's not saying the people around them don't mess with me. People gonna talk. So when they drop that low, and they know I got to cash on the channel, so I'm gonna talk about that. So when I talked about it, people thought I was even Turk thought I was bull crapping. Oh, man, that man mad about that, So when it finally came out, they were like, it hit me, OG, you was right, you gotta save it. But I told y'all so, But yeah, Turk, when it's bad, like, you remember how you just asked if Slim called me would I come? So at one time Slim was saving Turk when there was something going on. It's to the point I'm hearing Slim don't like him no more.
Damn.
So he hit. If Slim don't like it, yeah, you cut off.
It's over.
It's over with. And that's what I'm hearing. My inside sources tell me that.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts with him performing now in like the streets and stuff like that?
Is that an act?
So I'm gonna get right.
He sat up.
On one hand, Turk a content creator.
Right.
So on one hand, it's like he's showing people like I can hustle, I get this money, I don't have no shame in my game, I'm grinding. On another hand, when you look at it, you're like, come on, man, you low rating yourself, you're down bad, to stoop this low. Like, and then you still using the Hot Boys picture. So I'm like, man, come on. But on the other hand, he's showing like he having fun with it. I'm showing y'all I'm gonna grind this way. I got to get the money. He's showing people you can still hustle instead of going to the streets. So you can look at it both ways. I don't like to look at stuff in a tunnel vision. So I'm looking at it like, he showing like my pride. I'm going to put it, but you got to look at it too, because like you had no choice. You ain't on the tour. So I'm going to go do this to show people I ain't tripping. I'm making content. But really, you hurt, because that was going to be a nice bag for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like him doing that. I don't like it not one bit, but he got to do what he got to do to take care of his family.
You're right.
I like that he's not going to the street to sell drugs. That's what I really like. Yeah.
So I want to talk about UNLV, man. Why it seems like UNLV doesn't really get, I don't really hear too much about UNLV,
Like, get the credit.
Like, get the credit, since they were the first acts to be signed to Cash Money.
Well, they wasn't the first act. They was one of the bigger
The
acts.
bigger acts. That's what I'm
Okay.
going with it, right?
Right.
Because it seemed like you mainly hear about the Hot Boys, Juvenile, BG, but you don't really hear too much about UNLV. Was it the situation with Birdman and Yellow Boy to why you don't hear as much about the group, or you don't hear the music being promoted as much?
So when they had UNLV, there was underground. So they had underground hits. So now when they got Juvenile, Wayne, that was worldwide. That's why. So the world don't know who UNLV is, but unless we start talking about them and they like, oh, they was signing them first, and they get the story. But everybody don't know UNLV, but everybody know the Hot Boys. Everybody know Wayne, the acts like that. So that's why they don't get a lot of. And then They had that Dragon from the River.
That was a big hit.
Right.
I remember that song as a kid. I was a kid when I heard that song. This and Mystikal.
Right.
I remember.
But that song was local throughout the southern region. You see what I'm saying? So, but that beat carried on because Juvie took the beat and put it on Project English, set it off, and he did, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, the world through internet now know who UNLV, but everybody don't know who UNLV is.
Right.
So they not gonna, and then gotta keep in mind, Tech come on, this and baby, this and that. So they're not gonna promote them. You know what I'm saying? It was our group, this our people, y'all. Because what happens is when you promote them, that's gonna get people to start looking at them, and now they can make music and make money on their own. And start ain't about to go with that.
Right.
I want in, cut it out. So that's why you don't hear that. But I still listen to that stuff when I be in my truck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You in the Uptown thing for live, get into it with the end. I got to tote my gun and all. I be like, boy, that was that jab back in the days, But, Birdman, I'm not going to promote that because they feel like them not no worldwide hits, well, I can still make money off that.
So between Juvenile, BG, Lil Wayne, and Turk, right, who do you think took Cash Money over the top? I mean, I have my point of view. I share it with you, but I want to get it from your perspective. And what album?
So of course we gotta say 400 Degree Juvenile. We got to always. I don't like Juvenile too right now, so I'm gonna put that out there. But I'm gonna give him his props. So we gotta go with the 400 Degree Juvenile. Bust the dope for Cash Money. Like, let's go. We here. And then Wayne just took it from there. The Carter, 2, 3, 4. Like,
He carried the label.
yes, totally yes. But Juvie first, 400 Degrees, and then Wayne.
I believe Juvie could have carried the label. It's just the tension between him and Birdman as to why I don't think we got more monumental albums out of Juvenile, like the 400 Degrees, because you see Lil Wayne was always consistent with the Carter 1, Carter 2, Carter 3. The albums stay consistent because you can have an artist will come out with a hot-ass album, then the second album will kind of be like, mediocre. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I believe if Birdman and Juvenile was on good terms, I think Juvenile would have dropped more hits, man. But I'm glad you said that 400 Degrees was the album that took him to the top, because I remember when I first saw the music video, I was like, what the hell is that?
Because
I didn't understand the language.
Thing.
Right.
Me too. I was like, what the world? Come on, this ain't you.
Yeah.
Man,
I was like,
so mad.
Yeah. I'm sitting there.
Come on, unbelievable. Yeah. But I disagree with Juvie toting Cash Money. Let me tell you why.
Why?
When Wayne got on his own, you notice Wayne lyrics changed. Wayne started doing punchline, rapping like the Philly guys, looking at Jay-Z. So Wayne went from this to I spin your bin with the 4-5, let him ring, and to all kind of like little punchline he was hitting us with. I'm like, whoa. So now he rapping now. He really, so Shorty took it to another level, whereas Juvenile is a very good entertainer. He make very good music, but he wasn't doing what Weezy was doing.
It started with the Squad Up with Lil Wayne.
Yeah, them lyrics, man. So you like, whoa, because we like party music, but when you go to putting them punchline, go to talking down, you're like, oh, you go to paying attention what the boy said, So with Juvie, he made good. Back that thing up, classic.
I was about to say that. That's the ladies' anthem.
That's
right
a
there, boy. You
classic.
play that in the club.
Still going crazy, right?
That's a classic.
I was just talking about that the other day because they was asking me about the tour. I said, man, listen, when Back That Thing come on, you're going to see TD them out there with them fanny packs on, them big old butts, them guts, all that's going to be out there, slinging it. You know what I'm saying? So that's... That, like I said, that's why I say 400 Degree Juvenile.
Classic.
Yeah.
You could play from the beginning to the end.
You know another song I like from Juvenile? Slow Motion.
Slow Motion for me. That was the Slim song first. That was Slim song,
Oh, okay.
I was mad because I wasn't used, and see, they're going to show you I'm not a good A&R because I would have never picked that song for Slim. I was using Slim being a gangster talking that, that hood rap, but he showed his versatility, and I was like, it grew on me. I'm like, man, the homie came with that one.
Yeah.
So, but I just don't think Juvie, I would say this, when Juvie left Cash Money, then when he came back with I'm about to bounce back, he went platinum.
Right.
When he left Cash Money, he couldn't go, so it's like, it's like Cash Money fans stay at Cash Money. Whether you come or go, we not following you. We gonna stay here. So every time they come back over there, they do good.
Right.
But when they leave Cash Money, it's over with.
One of my favorite tracks on the 400 Degrees was that Ghetto Children.
Ghetto behind the ghetto building.
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah.
Yeah, I know
Man,
you're talking
I
about.
love that song, man.
I like to listen to that Soldier Rag.
Soldier Rags.
About that
Yeah.
paper, you know,
That was a
I
good
still
album.
be
Good
jamming
album.
off that, bro.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
album.
bro.
So, okay, so let me ask you, man. So, how did the New Orleans sound transition from bounce music to gangster music? Because y'all was heavy on the bounce music, just like Miami. Miami was heavy on bass music, booty shaking music. And of course, the JT Money's, Poison Clans, Trick Daddies, Rick Ross came along and, you know, changed the sound of the music.
Before I answer that, when you say Miami, right, I'm to be in love with Two Lot Crew. They had that PAN, that boom, boom, boom. I used to love the jam. I still be like that song. So I got asked this question the other day too. Well, the bounce started with, I be saying TT Tucker, because that's what, when I broke out of juvenile jail, I was riding and stole a car. I heard TT Tucker on the radio. Manny Fresh came with the, so the people from, I think they're from New York, drag now, dun, 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 dagoon, dagoon, dun, dun, dun. So Fresh took that and sampled and made that. And when I broke out of juvenile jail, man, them girls was like in the courtyard and they had a block party. I never get this. That it had blew me because I wasn't used to seeing females dance like that. They was like, they hands on the ground, they foots up on the wall, and they shaking it up, and I'm running from this circle to this crowd, and they just cutting up. So, gangster rap, shout out to my boy Mobile Joe, because they was doing gangster rap across the river again. We back across that river. Rootless Juvenile. So you had Tim Smooth, you had people, and then BG came out with it. So what would they call in drill music? BG was already doing that. Talking and spinning the band, and I'm gonna hit you with, you know. So BG was already doing that, but under fresh classical beats, so it's like we got to bounce with the gangster music too. Like Mystikal said, I'm never gonna bounce, I'm never gonna bounce. So Mystikal made that clear, I'm never doing that bounce stuff. So that's why I Mystikal, but you gonna catch him now, do a little verse or two, because it's like, bro, you from here, you gotta get a home, something. Right. And then P and them did, you know, because P started from Cali and worked his way up back to the NO. So, and then you, like you said, you had UNLV, you had dudes rapping gangster music. You know, of course, but you gonna have that bounce music behind it, but they was rapping gangster music already. On LOG, Feel I Feel, man, we had a lot of people that was rapping gangster music, but you know, they still sneak some of that New Orleans little sauce in there. Yeah. But they was already rapping, gangster music. Sis?
Yeah, so Kilo G, he was the first one that was signed to UNLV, right? Was he the first artist? No.
Not Kilo G, you talking about Lil Slim, yeah, Kilo G. I'm thinking about LOG. Yeah, Kilo G. Yeah, he deceased, I think. No, what, my bad. I think that I saw him online when I come home. I think he's still living, Kilo G. Oh, was he?
No.
Yeah, the Kilo G deceased, Lil Slim still living. Because Lil Slim the one bought Wayne over the Cash Money. Right. But yeah, okay. Yeah, Kilo G was a gangster rapper. Right. Yeah.
Speaking of UNLV, right? Especially had a diss track, diss Mystikal, right? So what's your thoughts on Mystikal now? Of course, we all heard in the news, he has been sentenced to 20 years. You know, allegedly, you know, I don't want to say the word over the airways, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that, man? It seemed like it's a pattern with Mystikal.
Mystikal think with the little head. What I mean by that is this. So the first time the lady was stealing money from him, you know, a woman get caught, she don't want to go to jail, get in trouble, so the first thing a man gonna think, all right, well, look out for me. Don't know how that's gonna turn out bad, because then you want to get all your friends involved. Now, the other thing I heard was with his baby mother. So I'm big on, I tell everybody this, no. No mean no. If a woman say no, fellas, listen to me. And this is all jokes aside. In Dallas, they got Harry Hines.
I'm familiar.
Okay. In New Orleans, they got Chef Mature Highway. And then when I come home, they put me on this site called List Crawler. Got the quick visit. So when a woman say no, bro, it's crack. It's too many women out here that you could get that from. Why you go and do that, bro? That's something I'm so scared. I don't never want to get caught up with that stuff. So I think Mystikal mind was getting high too, and sometimes them drugs cloud you. When a woman saying
judgment.
yes, and you thinking no, it's like because like you got some girls like. Have you ever a situation where you be with a female like, come here, girl. She's like, no, boy, stop, no, and she still let you do it. So I don't play like that.
Yeah.
And even though we kick it in and you saying yo no mean like yeah keep doing, but you like a soft no, no mean no. I be up, bye, I'm gone. So for Mystikal, man, I'm just happy he didn't get a license. Hope he get himself together because he a great lyricist. I put him in my top 3 in my city with the lyrics. With him and Mac. But honestly, with me being home and having so much going on myself, I ain't really been paying attention to Mystikal really.
Okay.
Cause I ain't nothing I can do for you. I don't know what really happened. I never paid attention to your stuff, but I'm just happy you was able to get yourself something where you could at least come home again.
Right.
You know.
So at 11, I'm gonna pivot a little bit. We're gonna go back to your earlier childhood, because we didn't really, talk much about it. You did mention it, but we didn't really talk much about it. At 11, when you caught your first body, you deleted someone. Of course, you didn't jump back in the car. You took off running. What was your thought process as a child, like going through that type of emotion? Like, did you feel anything?
Yeah, I felt something.
Yeah.
The power of the gun. Nobody better not play with me now. I felt I was tough. I felt like I passed the test. I didn't let my mentor down. And now I got the gun. It just was easy for me. It's like, look at a lot of these little young boys today, right? A lot of them scary, but with that gun, they just, and a lot of people, when you pull a gun, they get scared. They're frightened. So just imagine you letting them little bit admitted things come out there. You like, yeah, I'm in control. So that just always been like a power for me. And growing up, just doing it, and then tote the guns. Like, we were real foolish too, because my best friend Ugly, I talked to him the other day. We cut school. I had a 22. We was playing Russian roulette, and he click, I click. Wait, I clicked it, he clicked it. It was my turn to do it again. And I was like, oh, and I pow. He said, "You was gonna shoot me?" I said, "Well, that's the game we was playing." But I would have shot him. Yeah, we cut school. So at 11, me taking a life, stealing cars, and like I say, my mother would be at work. So, and when I would come home, I knew her weakness was the cupcakes and the Coke. So I would go to this store. I passed the other day to see if that store was open. One of the stores, I just the ice cream out. The man chased me for one ice cream, man. I gotta wait, but I would. So, and then the other store down the block, I passed that the other day to go see if it was still there. I didn't go down actually the block. I was like a block from it. I saw it because what I be doing. I go back to the I go back and how we talking now. I go back and be like, let me go see if this still left the house. Or this girl I used to like still live here. So I be and a lot of that stuff. Probably had to make the block. And be like, I remember right here, so and because it be looking, it's a whole lot different now. But at 11, taking a life, selling drugs, and we used to have sex with this crackhead down the block, Miss Barbara. What? That's how. Say
Crazy. Man.
You said a crackhead.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Miss
So
Barbara.
you'll give her a couple rocks and.
No, we used to do this. So. Man, it's crazy because I talked to him the other day too. So my best friend, Ugly brother, used to sell powder bags. And he used to hide it in his shoe in the shed, right? By the hot water heater. So we would get a Tylenol, crush the Tylenol, put it in the sandwich bag, cut it, tie it up, and take one of his real powder bags, put that in there. Man, we could have got that man killed now that I think about it. Because they had a spot on Josephine where the powder bag was jumping. And we was, and then we had this female named Penitentiary Black. So she was old enough, but she was our height. Black as up, man, we just get that alleyway. I watched out, he go, we take, so that's why I tell some of the guy like, bro, no, I thank God for this though, bro, because we didn't use protection back
I was
then.
about to say that. That's why when you said crackhead,
But this is, go ahead.
no, because the ladies, when they doing crack, they are
Right.
out there. You
Right.
know?
Needles too, sharing the needles.
Right, but see, back in our day and time versus now, it's just like, it's like it just flooded, all the disease, everything has flooded. But we used to have sex with Penitentiary Black and Miss Barbara.
That was taking chances, man.
Yeah, man, that's a fact, bro. We ain't know nothing about no condom. I ain't know. When I never heard about a condom.
Mm-hmm. Your father, Mr. Johnny
Yeah,
Williams.
got 25 children.
Allergic to latex, right?
Yeah, man,
Right.
that break me out. Yeah,
That's
for
crazy,
real,
man.
bro. Yeah,
Right.
that's crazy. Yep. And when I broke out of juvenile jail, I had sex with all the crackheads in the project. Chill Wiz, we would just laugh about this. Like I would steal his crack, and he'd come in there, and I had a dresser. He had like a dresser by like this. It would. I put it up against the door so he can't come in the bus in the room on me. And we would just laugh about that. He said, "Man, you just steal my crack, man, for the kids." Because it was a lot of crackheads that looked nice in my project, man. Yeah.
Did y'all
strong
knock up
guy.
any of them?
No, unfortunately, no. None of
No,
got
don't say
crack.
unfortunately.
Well-
Fortunately.
Right.
No, well, fortunately, okay, cool, but
Right.
it's one. I would say this here. Me and her had sex, right? So she was at the beginning of her smoking crack stage, so she still had that nice structure, right? Picture like I seen her at a bus stop, maybe like a year later or something. She had a baby with her. I said, "It's my son." I asked her what we doing one day. She said, "Stop saying that, cause I'm an old man." And I'm like, "That might be mine. It's a possibility it could be mine, you know, cause we was humping around it. It's all add up, lady." But I left her alone.
Damn.
Yeah, but she stayed right down from me.
Wow. That's
I might have been had a child. I like children. That's why I said unfortunately.
Wow. So let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this, Terrance. Man.
Uh-huh.
So with all the individuals, all the people you unalive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever fear that the spirits will come back and just hunt you, man? You ever have that thought process?
No,
Really?
because my thing is this. How can I say this without being very cocky again? So this finger, I never broke my fingers, so they work, right? And I always say, if somebody come, they better not come playing. For every action, there's a reaction. I know that, because there's a guy I'm cool with. Well, we started beefing later. He waited 15 years to get revenge for his father's death. So I know people lay in the cut. That's why I don't put myself out there to get you a free kill. I just don't. But I'm not scared to die. I'm not ducking it. I always get myself right with God. So whenever it comes, it's my time. You know, I believe in Islam we say the qadr of Allah, the divine decree. Whenever it's time for me to pass, like nobody know where they gonna pass at, what city, what state, what day or time they gonna pass. I just know death is promised to all of us. So whenever it happen, it happen. I don't never dwell on it. Like I've never had no bad dreams. I don't never be. No, I just live my life, man. You know, it didn't. If you think about it, man, like all my friends died in their 20s.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still here to tell a story. 51 years old. I had a guy the other day, he thought I was in my 40s with him. Man, you got some of these youngsters that take them pills look rough.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, man. So, no, I never think about it. And like I said, I don't go back to the Magnolia and be post up on the block, be like, y'all let boy, y'all don't know who I am. Go ask your mom or your dad. No, I don't do that because I know them
time
little
is
young.
up.
Yeah, because I had my time and I was young. I ain't want to hear that. So I know them little youngsters don't care.
Yeah.
So I don't put myself in situations for them to, you know, do that. I don't go to the little hood clubs, little, you know, and try to best
Is
with
it
them.
still like that over there in New Orleans? To this
Yes.
day?
Yes. Them little, you know, the next man up.
Damn.
Them little
So
young-
is the Dooney Boys, are they still active?
No. So there's one online that I be trolling. We be going back and forth. Johnny Boo. He got to pay 502 something. And he be telling a story. I be messing with him. I be like, y'all ain't my ride for doing it. He make it. We did. But nah, the Dooney Boys are all scattered out. Some dead, some in prison. Like Johnny Boo home. But they're older too now. Like they're in their 40s. So they got them little teenagers out there now in them streets. So them 40-year-olds, you gotta get out the way. Them little teenagers is on the block now. Teenagers in the early 20s, they running the streets now.
Damn.
Now you still got a few little 40-year-old might have a little, you know, little influence on boy, you know, but for the most part, them little youngsters running wild.
Gotcha.
When I was coming up, everybody didn't have a gun. Now everybody got a gun in a book bag. So I just hey, I don't even. Let me tell you something. I got invited to a party. So I pull up early just to see, because I was like, man, if a bunch of dudes go in this party, I ain't going now. I need some women in here. So I'm parked and I'm watching. So I'm seeing the flow. So as I'm parked right here, there's a car pulled, and it's like 5 youngsters in the car, and they lock eyes with me, and I lock eyes with them, right? But I want to break the stare because them like youngsters be clutching them. What you looking at over here? So I'm looking, they looking. I'm looking, they looking, and then they park right on side of me, like they backed in, like we just like how. And they did it. They say, like, roll the window. I'm like, oh, man. So I rolled my window down. What's up, OG? Get it? I'm like, yes. I said, man, we started talking. I'm like, boy, you like the shooter, right? You right in the back. He laughing. They said, OG, we got you. You good? Anybody gonna I'm like, yes, good. So I get more love than hate. So that would keep me going. And like I say, I'm gonna always read the situation first before I go into the situation.
So would you say the city of New Orleans, is it like a mafia city, mafia-ran city?
Of course.
Because it seemed like you have like that mafia mindset, right? So the code, right? You coming up with the code for you and the crew, Hot Boys, Baby and Birdman, right? So what mobster actually influenced you, or what mafia movie? Because you give that, you know what I'm saying?
So that's crazy to say that. Google this. Oh, y'all know this. Google this. It's called the Marcello family.
I heard about the Marcello family in New Orleans.
Yes. That's the only family in New Orleans been there for a long time. They wouldn't allow the 5 families to come down. You had to get invited to come down from Mardi Gras, whatever, right? So I've always been infatuated with the mob. So when I got incarcerated, I had mob encyclopedias. What made me break off from that, and I'm like, you know how us blacks, like we like to, I'm Frank Lucas or Lucky Luciano, Scarface, El Capone, we give ourselves these nicknames behind the mob, right? Bugsy Siegel. So as I'm reading how their death came about, I'm like, man, he went out like a sucker, or he went out like a cop, or he got tampered with in jail, he, the body and Clyde stuff, the rumors about him. So as I'm reading this stuff, I'm like, man, we've been infatuated with stuff that we don't really know, but the history behind these people, like the mob wanted, I think it was Frank Nitti, to take a tax evasion charge, what we would call petty to this day. He couldn't go do it, and he committed suicide, killed himself outside of the railroad track. So as I'm reading this stuff about these guys, I'm like, man, these dudes ain't, what it all cracked up to be. So, but I'm reading it, and I'm like, a lot of stuff I did learn. Like when I was on the street before I got locked up, I would, if I seen a woman with a ring on her finger, like I never had sex with a married woman. I never would have sex with a woman if I knew for a fact she had a boyfriend or was dating or living with a man, because I felt like I'm a living legend. I'm not about to be sneaking having sex with you. I need to be in the let him sneak and help you, So a lot of stuff I did learn. A lot of stuff I learned from Black and Mo, Lester Duplessis, Killer Stone. So I'm like, to this day, I'm a type of person, like, I don't care how young you are or how old you are, I always pay attention. I'm always trying to learn something because I could get something from you or something out of it. And be like, okay, that's cool. Okay, I know. Okay, I don't agree with that, but I like this. Or I'm going to take this or take that. So I've always been the one to take my time, because one mistake could cause you your life.
Right, facts. Yeah, but see, and also, too, the reason why I asked you the questions, because I remember when No Limit was going through their rebranding, Master P seemed like to be adopting the more mafia style. He was wearing the suits. He would say Don, and you don't recall that?
I remember that.
He adopted more of the mafia style. So that's the reason why I asked you, did the mob, did the Italian mob have a big influence on the city of New Orleans?
So they got a lot of business, so they didn't really penetrate the hoods, because we had Richard Pena, he's in Fed with Life. We had a big dope boys already in our hoods. We getting drugged from, but for P and them, coming up in the hood with the T-Bows and Reeds or just a regular ghetto look, and then once you start making money, so you're like, okay, if I want to get invited to an Oprah party or whoever, a Bill Cosby party, I got to dress the part. Them people not about to let you come in with no, little T-shirt on, no jeans sagging, and your Reeboks on, So, and P, and I don't know, because I haven't never talked to P.
Okay.
But just on the outside looking in, he started getting more mature, realizing, like, I want to get in bigger doors. I want to go into different, like when I was in prison, I just always tell Bird, man, do a Hot Boy clothing line. So as the Hot Boy was blowing up, he was talking about some clothing line. He was talking about, I said, and he had met Kumar Lee. So she had wrote me a 4-page letter, and I, to talk to her on the phone. And when I told her about the Hot Boy, I said, man, I've been telling you. He said, bro, you gotta understand, just because I got millions, that don't mean I got the door, the avenue to get into the clothing brand and doing all that. I was like, oh, okay. So he said, yeah, that stuff ain't just that easy. People like block you out. You gotta really be in with somebody to get in to it, like if you want to do clothing or do certain stuff.
Right. I'm surprised Hot Boys didn't come out with a pair of Reeboks, because you saw G-Unit got a deal, Jay-Z got a deal with Reebok, but why Hot Boys didn't get that deal, man?
So Bird reached out to Reebok, and they didn't want to do something they didn't offer, so that's how he had got that lug deal at that time.
I remember that.
I remember me calling Bird, and I said, bro, I got the nonprofit, I want to get a children, I want to have a going back to school sneaker giveaway. He said, man, you right on time, about to do my anniversary, my Birdman love you. I hung up the phone. I wasn't about to get them children no love, bro. No, man, we were gonna do that. I needed some Air Force One. I needed them G9 with them little children was rocking then. But yeah, he tried to do. This always been a problem with Cash Money, and I remember Bird telling me this. He said, bro, when I was trying to push the clothing, he said, bro, I only know about movie and music. I don't know about all the other stuff. So you had dudes that was coming from the hood that had millions of dollars and was scared to invest in other stuff, didn't think that they would make it. So me being in prison, sitting back from the back looking in, I'm like, bro, do this, let's do this, let's do that, because we should talk all the time. But he was like, man, I don't know nobody that can help me do this. I don't know nobody that can do. I'm like, then I started realizing just because you're in the industry and you got me, that don't mean you're in a circle with everybody.
True. So what's the most misunderstood part of your story?
That I killed a lot of people.
I'm glad you said that, man. So where they get the 40 bodies? You say 25, but the internet say 40.
So what happened, how 40 come about was, and I never wanted to correct it, and it's just recently I started correct, because when the internet love lies.
I believe they do it for clickbait.
Yes, they do it for clickbait, and they love lies, and then that's how I was getting more interviews back then, because it was so appealing to them. So how the 40 come about was doing this Sterling Mosquito, what they did. Either I was there, saw it, or participated in it. So when I had to sit down and talk about the homicides, I told them all, because they did. So I'm like, yeah, we was here this day, this time. They looked, they checked it all out, blah, 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 blah. So that's how it came out to be 40.
So do you believe in prison reform?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, explain.
So for me, all right, I got my GED in prison, right? No, my bad. I got my GED at Delgado Community College before I went to prison. So in prison, I did a LSU. I had U.S. history with LSU, and I had a college course with Ashworth University. That's the only thing I be beating myself up behind, because Ashworth University, they will give us open book tests and open book exam. So you can't help but to get a degree with them. But I was going back, go to the hole, or just get tired of that stuff. So anyway, while I was in prison, with a life sentence, a life in 20 years, I started a class called I Can Go Home, Be a Better Man. I was preparing inmates for society and didn't know what was going on out here. I just was helping them get their self together. I had another class called non-residential drug class, where I would help inmates out. And what I did was I made a circle. Like, I didn't want to be stand up at the podium and teach it, because, we all inmates of this. Sometimes that devil always stay busy. So I didn't want dudes to be like, who you think he is? He up there at that podium like he better than us. So I would sit down in a circle where we all equal. So my thing is, I always say that we need the prison reform, for the simple fact is, when you do a lot of time in prison and you come home, you lost. You don't know what's going on. You need outside support. Like I said, when I come out, I didn't know how to work I still don't know how to work the cell phone to this day. I went to Walmart. I didn't know about the self-checkout. I'm thinking these women just stand over there, admire, just come home. I'm looking good, glowing, I'm working out. And I'm like, all right, one of y'all come on, do y'all job. They was like, oh, that sells, what you mean self-checkout? Y'all gonna trust me to scan this stuff? Yeah, I said, I'm gonna be stealing out here. They laughing, but I'm like, what the world? So we need programs and need stuff to help inmates. You got a lot of them that's burnt out and fried. You got some inmates feel like you owe me something, or you supposed to give me. It wasn't until I came home that I realized it's not enough time in the day. What I mean by that is this. I would come home and say, hey, send me some pictures, or send the money. 2-3 hours later, you took care of that? No. And I get mad, right? Because I felt like, you ain't doing nothing out there. You off from work or you ain't working. Why you ain't? Because I would get up in the morning, might go walk the track, jog the track, work out, whatever, go then post up in front of the TV, or I ain't had no job in jail, so I'm not doing nothing. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you all not doing nothing out here. It wasn't until I came out here that I realized, like, man, the day go by so fast. It's going by so fast. Like, and I got people calling me, man, I need to do this, man, I need to do that. And I'm doing so much. I'm like, man, I owe my mother apologize. And another thing I realized, like, shout out to all the people who got there. Either you're leasing, you're renting, you own your house. I didn't realize that it take money to keep the household, like the Fabuloso, the comic, all the house supply. House of drugs are just giving the people the money. I didn't realize that stuff costs, man, until my mother came, drove with my brother and his wife from New Orleans, and she took her credit card and spent $700, and I had it in the middle of my floor when I got my first apartment. It was in the middle of my floor, and I was like, Mama, what is $700? Right here. All right here. I was like, what the world? So now my heart go out to them single parents, man, because they need that help. Now, I'm just talking about the house, keep the stuff clean. I ain't bring up the clothes, I mean, the food, and how you got to feed the children, how to clothe the children. Man, that's a lot. Yeah. You know, so coming home from prison, and now I see why I didn't want to do it. I'm going to be honest with you, because I used to always make a joke. You ain't get me halfway from home. I don't want to go to halfway. I want to go straight home. Mm-hmm. But a lot of inmates, a lot of convicts, they need that. They need it bad, man, because, you know, in jail. So I had a program too where I would say this. At some point, us inmates still run the streets, have our hand in the streets. What I mean by that is, let's take Big Meech, for example, BMF, Big Dog. So if you got people in the streets that's beefing here, got something going on, and Meech call home, they going to be happy. Oh, Meech on the phone, I got Meech on the phone. So we could take these little children, bring them to a gym, or bring them somewhere where you got the monitors at, where I had wanted something to be set up in an education building, and where we could talk to the children and let them know, look, it's being monitored by the police, so y'all got to watch what y'all say, but y'all could nip this in the bud. Another idea I had was take 2 people from the Magnolia, 2 from the Calio, bring them out of town, and let the one from the Calio and Magnolia stay in the room together, the other one stay in the room together, and y'all get along, exchange phone numbers. So if there's a beef, y'all can call each other to nip it in the bud before it go too far. So I always look at that. We need that, but a lot of them, the legislation and a lot of stuff, they stealing the money, stealing the budget. They don't want to help prison because they feel like, oh, we all broke down anyway on our last leg anyway, go and let them die off. You know, but there's a lot of good men that come home that need the help, that can use it and want the help.
So what's your thoughts on Karmelo Anthony, the young 19-year-old
Mm-hmm.
that's been sentenced to 35 years?
Mm-hmm.
So why haven't black celebrities, athletes, or hip-hop artists come together and rally, even though the kid committed the act, but why haven't the masses of the celebrities, you know, the athletes come together and try to help the kid as far as getting like a sentence, a lesser sentence? Because if the shoe was on the other
on the other
foot, if it was a different race, it would be a whole totally different outcome, right? So do you think Karmelo Anthony was over sentenced?
Of course. I spoke with his father a few weeks ago. I called and checked on him. I also checked on Karmelo Anthony to find out where was he. But of course, so you had some celebrities coming out to help him, but we got to also keep in mind we're in a white town, white judge, white, you know, well, it wasn't all white, because I heard they had some Latino and had Asian in it, but it's just like it's all white, because one thing, you know, once people know who the jury is, if you come to not guilty, we're going to talk to you or bring home to you. So them people, you know, that stuff was already rigged. I've never seen a person get found guilty, get sentenced, and shipped off at the same time, bro.
Do you think the defense team should have gotten the trial shifted to a more urban community?
Of
where
course.
it'd been more of a fair,
yes,
a fair trial?
And then you have 3 blacks that they struck from the jury. I don't know what the reason was for that, but I don't think he got a fair deal. And just to be fair to the Metcalf family, yes, the child lost his life, right? So it wasn't first degree murder, because it wasn't like this man, like, okay, this big old white boy be bullying me, talk, I'm gonna go to school tomorrow and stab him. So at the end of the day, this just happened. Freak act. So he could have given him manslaughter, negligent homicide, give him a lesser offense. You know what I'm saying? 35 years is ridiculous for that baby. You know. So and I also called the black people out because I seen a few black content creators making videos about it, but I was like, come tomorrow or something else happen, y'all gonna forget about Karmelo Anthony, ain't gonna be talking about something else. Yeah. So we're gonna do it, keep doing it. Shout out to the brothers. So just recently, Charles White had a show in Baton Rouge. Man, shout out to these little brothers here, bro. You know, I thank God this all worked out with peace, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them showed up with Karmelo Anthony shirts on, his family members, and wanted to talk to Charles White. Charles, you know, he ain't backing down from nothing. Right. What's up? Charles White right there in their face talking to him. They talking, but we in the back in the back parking lot, back there in the back. And like I say, I respect that these youngsters pull up to talk to Charleston. Like, but at the end, it was a understanding that came to, you know, the conclusion was a good understanding. I even must bought a shirt from him, posted, took a picture with it and all, because I know the father and they from Louisiana, my homie, you know. So, but yeah, it was shout out to them youngsters for having the heart to even pull up to talk to Charleston, and shout out to Charleston because Charleston stood his ground. Look, this is what it is. What I said is, you know, Charleston don't change, bro. I was like, man, it's crazy, but I was just happy that it didn't turn out to violence. That we was able to talk and kick it, and and I took pictures with them youngsters and post their stuff, and we followed each other on Instagram. And I told them, I respect y'all came. I respect that y'all came to pull up to talk to Charleston, like, hey, what's up, you know, my people. You know what I'm saying? Though this really my family member that you talking about, blah, blah, blah. And Charleston broke it down to him, and they like, oh, okay, we see. So Charleston's very smart, very intelligent. But shout out to Turk at the Cali because he was right there with Charleston, Mike, Money Mike. You know, we, you know, the old heads, we right there to make sure you're okay. But them some youngsters. The youngsters work out and buffing muscles. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it all worked out good, man. There's always room for a conversation. And now what you say is how you say it. Right. Because, you know, them youngsters use an old head and somebody choke, man, get out my face. I don't want to, like a trigger something, you know? So that's why you always have a great leader, because the leader going to determine the outcome of who's going to make it home. Facts. Yeah, and I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I took my mother from New Orleans. She lived in Dallas with me in my apartment. And that lady knows it. Every time I come in that door, the way her room's set, she could see, because my room, I got 2 on this side, she on this side. But when I walk in that hallway, she be looking.
And she be happy to see you.
Yeah,
I saw that.
man.
Trust me.
She be happy, bro. Yeah, I be like, Mom, I'm here, you know. But so I always try to be the bigger man. Okay, if you call me a coward, you right, you got that young. I didn't need to make it home to my mom, bro.
That's all that matters. Mama baby. You're gonna always be mama
That's
baby
a fact.
no matter what.
Yes, yes. Then I got a son call me from the Fed. Dad, what you doing? Nah, I'm chilling, boy. Dad, what's going on? Say, the other day my son called me. So it's me, Mike, and Flay. We going down Bourbon Street. So you know all the stuff going on in Bourbon.
Yeah.
Man, I'm riding. I'm like, look at, you know, I'm seeing all the different stuff, the shapes and all that. I see the phone, the jail call. I accept the call. Put the phone on my lap while I'm driving. And look up, forgot my son was on the phone. Man, so he hung up and called me. Dad, I said, bro, my bad, bro. I said, bro, so he said, I know, Dad. I said, man, bro. I did half of my life around a bunch of miserable men. Ain't nothing like some beautiful women, bro. Just seeing them. I was like, bro, my bad, bro. But he always called, Dad, what you doing? Dad, what's good? I'm like, nah, I can't wait to get out. I'm like, man, bro. It's like I left the street 23. I had 10 children out here. He left with 3. Yeah, man. But it's just beautiful just to be out here. So you just got to be focused, and you got to think for you and the next person.
That's right. You always say that. I always hear you say that.
Man, because if you don't, you could crash out.
You crash out.
Yeah, you gonna crash out. That's why I be like,
especially in the world we live in today. People are so short-tempered and be ready to just pull out a gun.
And they got their phone recording.
That's the next thing,
we didn't
too.
grow up in that era.
Try to go viral off you.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in that era.
But see, they don't rely about me. The only reason why I don't mind backing down now, because you go viral, any good or bad for me, I go viral, they gonna call me, gonna talk. So I don't care. You can punk me. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So,
being that you've been incarcerated for so long, man, stay away from that Harry Hines, man.
oh no, let me show you something. So
That's the track, sis. If you
yeah,
know.
that's where the women do their business at, right? So how I learned about it was this guy that was filming me, right, doing the interview. So he said, "Yeah, man, I got a YouTube channel. I be interviewing the women on Harry Hines." I said, "What the world is Harry?" And he told me, I said, "It's a stroke." What? So I said, "I want to pass." So I passed through that one day, and I saw a bunch of young females out there, right? So when I went to California, oh man, Figueroa.
I've been to Figueroa too. I know all the
Man,
blades.
yeah.
I know all the blades,
Bruh,
man.
I
Trust
was
me.
so I had this female I had met. She lived on Figueroa.
Yeah.
So we rolled down a block, and I couldn't believe these girls in the cuts and on the streets and half naked. I was like, what the world? But the crazy part about it is, in my old age, I just couldn't bring myself to buy from one of the women.
Right.
Now, so my first time going to a strip club was last year with Charles
Yeah,
Around.
for the first time.
I was laying down. He said, "What you doing?" He said, "What you doing, OEN?" I said, "I'm laying down." He said, "Man, we going to the club." All right, send me the location. I got the location. We get to it's a strip club. I still never let a woman give me a lap dance, and I don't make it rain.
Right.
But I go just to go see, but I ain't.
But it's crazy you talked about the blades because I remember my father, he used to live right next door to a P. So as a youngster, and I stayed like 4 blocks down the street from the Blade because I lived on, no, it's 3 blocks because I lived on 76th Street in Little Haiti and the Blade was 3 blocks away, 79th Street. So I'm a youngster, so I'm seeing all this action taking place. I'm seeing the P's, I'm seeing the broads, walking on the track. So now as I start to travel, I start seeing it in real life in action. Because my best friend, he lives in California and he lives right off of Sepulveda, and that's a track. And I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, you know this is a track? Then I've been to Figueroa, I've been to Harry Hines, so I'm familiar. You know what I'm saying? So I know. I can talk to, I may not seem like it, but I can talk to
Oh, no,
P-Talk.
I never-
can talk to Ism, man.
Okay. Well, you said it is when you hip. But I'm picking up what you're dropping.
Right.
So I never judge a book by the cover.
Right.
Because it's like me now, people see me now. I've always been a respectful person. So a person that see me be like, oh man, he a cool dude, but don't know below the surface, I could be a
What you
violent.
compressing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
Because me, I'm not a street dude, but I was more infatuated with football and the ism. It was just something about the ism that I just liked. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I didn't want to, I like the drug dealing and all that stuff didn't really impress me. It was more of the ism. You know what I'm saying? From the street, you know what I'm saying? From the square looking into the street life. It was more of the ism that kind of like influenced me.
I just interviewed a woman that was in the game, and that's what she was talking about. I'm about the ism. She's an older woman, still look good for her age. I interviewed her on my channel.
The light skinned lady,
Yes.
what's her name? She used to be with she used to be with my man, he passed Kenny Red. She used to be with Kenny Red.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I interviewed her.
What's her name? Damn, it'll come to me.
I don't forget.
Yeah.
She'd be we be hitting each other DM out here. How you doing?
Yeah, she still look good for her age. She
for her
used to be with
age,
Kenny
man.
Red.
And she's
Yeah.
very respectful,
Very
bro.
respectful.
Yeah,
she used to be
man.
with Kenny Red.
She talk about him. She shot him out in that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bro. I didn't come across my fair share of everybody,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
So I don't never judge the book by the
Yeah.
cover, So
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, cool. This person,
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So now, as we about to conclude the interview, let me ask you this last question. If a 15-year-old who wants to be just like the younger you is watching this interview, what's the one thing you'd say that could change their mind?
If you really love your mother or your father, your brothers and sisters, say no. We got to conquer the peer pressure. Don't be scared to say no to your homeboys in the hood because you feel like they're going to think you a coward or a sucker. Because that same homeboy that's tough, when he go to jail, he going to be trying to call you. You ride in that car with him, when you go to jail, your little girlfriend, she going to go with your partner now. You're going to be mad about that. You can't call your friends for no money to bail you out, for commissary, or for a lawyer. No. Peer pressure. Conquer that first. Don't be scared to say no. Don't be scared to get in the car. Because at the end of the day, when all y'all, and then if you look at it, somebody going to tell on you anyway, one of your friends. They going to tell you going to be mad he snitched on you, and then you're going to be just like that little young boy that was in court the other day for the Julio saying, I was 18, I can't drink, and this, but you know better. You know you can't take a life. So then we want to cry to the court, humiliate ourselves, throw ourselves to the mercy of the court. So while you out here, enjoy your freedom, respect your parents, and say no, walk away from it. If you don't have it, take your time. Let me tell y'all something. When I first come home, I moved into this house. I only had my prayer rug, some pants, shirt. So I laid it on the rug and I made me a pillow. My mother drove to come visit me. She brought me to Walmart. She said, "You want an air mattress?" I said, "What that is?" She pointed at it. I said, "I don't want that. Give me a sleeping bag." So I had got a sleeping bag and a pillow. I took my time. The first thing I got was from Reynolds. I got a washer, dryer, refrigerator. I was paying notes on it. Then I got me a table. I had the guy that worked with me. He came and put my little table together. I had a nice, pretty table. It's still at the house where my partners live at. Then I got me a 32-inch TV. I still got that TV to this day. I didn't know how to work the TV. So I would come home and stay in the dark for 30 days. Till one day I pressed that TV and I saw YouTube. I clicked that and I started watching YouTube for my TV. Then I got a bed. Then I got me a sofa. Then I got me a 55-inch TV. And my PO came to my house with his supervisor. He said, "You know what?" He said, "You the first person that been on my workload, been home a year and have accomplished as much as you have accomplished." I said, "Because I don't ever want to go back to jail and I'm sincere." So we'll say we love our mothers, our fathers, our family, but we go out there and do some dumb, stupid stuff. Then we realize when we in the police car or in the lockup that I shouldn't have done that. So while you out here, you got that freedom, cherish it, stay out the way. If you don't have it, the materialistic stuff gonna come and go. Don't worry about that. Take your time. I took my time and bought one furniture at a time. I was used to, because I was a drug dealer, I was used to get me all that stuff. One thing at a time. And then when my PO brought it to my attention, I felt good. Because we always want somebody to acknowledge the good stuff we're doing. Mm-hmm. So I just pray that these 15-year-olds start doing what's right, find you a job, and take your time. Save your money and buy little by little, because later on, with your homeboys that jump in that car and go commit that crime, they're going to be calling you from jail, telling you, "Man, such and such got his body part took, such and such got beat up, such and such get extorted, such and such sending money to him." There's so much stuff that going in prison you don't want to see or you can't much imagine. I witnessed a lot of cutthroat, dirty stuff. I witnessed people lose their life, get stabbed. I witnessed a lot of stuff in prison. I was over 300 men in prison. Like, you have what you call like a shot call, like over the car. That some people be thinking that's something cool. "Oh, I'm a big dog, I got to look." No, that's a headache. Because one thing you say could cause your people life, lose their life, could cause your people get more time in jail or lose a body part because the other people not playing. So it's a lot of stuff that we want, and we want it fast. But you know, they always say it's slow money for sure money. So stick to that. And like I said, enjoy your freedom while you have it. Please do. Any questions y'all have, hit me up in my DM. I answer all my Instagram. It's Terrance Gangster Williams Home. I know that's a long name. The reason why it's long, because when I come home, I was just playing on the thing. I didn't know how to work it. So I just put that long name on it. I've been meaning to shorten it, but I had it so long since I've been home, so I just leave it on there. But any questions you have, especially about the children, hit me up. I don't mind talking about it, helping them out, talking to them, whatever. Don't hit me in with the bull crap, all right? Because I will block you. I learned how to block now. So, yeah, man, when I come home, I started my Instagram. So I pressed something. I had a bunch of females in my DM, right? With the little babies. So I said, "Oh, she liked me, so I'm follow. I was following 300 females, and only 30 people were following me. So the girl like, "No, that's not right. You got to switch it around." So I had to delete it and start all over. So I learned how to work the Instagram. But anybody having problem with their children, hit me up. I don't mind talking to them. That's something I love to do. Because I've actually walked that walk. Now I need to talk the talk, walk the walk. But now I'm leading by example.
That's what's up, gangster. With that being said, we want to thank you.
Wow.
Thank you
for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
Listen, let me tell you
man.
what I thought. I said, man, your sister gonna be. I wasn't worried about you. I said, your sister gonna be mad with me because you know we supposed to do for two.
Right.
I said, oh, man. And I told him come, because I Googled it because I'm on Biscayne down here.
Right.
I said, this ain't number 7 minutes from me. So I told him to come get me at 3:30. Then the traffic and the time. Then my GPS kept telling me, go around this corner, kept sitting. I said, oh man, these people gonna think I'm playing. Cause I usually be 30 minutes early. I like to be early, right? And I was like, man, I hope she don't be upset. And I'm just picturing her with a mask. I was so happy when she smiled when I come.
Nah,
Cause I don't be one to upset nobody, you know?
Nah, we cool people.
Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah.
But you gotta keep in mind, I didn't know.
Nah, you all good. You gave us a really good interview, so we all good with that.
I want to thank you guys for watching this episode with Terrance Gangster Williams. I'm going to ask you guys to please like, comment, and subscribe. I see you guys been watching the episodes. Just go ahead and show your support and hit that subscribe button. Until then, peace.